Do you agree that an incident occurred on February 24th, 2018?
It was a verbal incident. Verbal.
But it was an incident, correct?
Objection, relevance, ambiguous.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't feel like, I personally feel like if there's no physical touch, there is no incident. There was a verbal altercation. If you think that that's an incident, a verbal altercation, then it's an incident for you. But we both have different opinions. It's a verbal altercation. She didn't hit me, I didn't hit her. There was no touch. So to me, it wasn't no incident.
Was there spitting?
Absolutely not.
Did you spit on Miss Ellis?
No.
Did you call her the N-word?
No.
What is your background? Are you Hispanic, white, something else?
Objection,
My background?
Yes.
Well,
what's the objection?
relevance, and
Sustained.
Would you consider yourself African American?
I consider myself Afro-Caribbean.
Ma'am, you need to give your attorney a second to object. What's your
Oh,
objection?
sorry.
sorry. Relevance, yeah.
Sustained.
Have you ever used the N-word with Miss Imani Ellis?
No.
Did you try to take a swing at her?
No.
When you say there was a verbal altercation,
Yes.
do you know what the word altercation means?
Like a conflict.
Like a fight, right?
It was like a verbal fight, but it didn't get physical at all.
When I'm talking to you now, are we having a verbal altercation?
We having, we'll say, a debate.
And we're debating about whether you assaulted and battered Miss Imani Ellis, correct?
Just no, well, I guess so, but I didn't touch her. She didn't touch me, so
What proof do you have that you didn't touch her?
Objection, relevance, and also
It's argumentative. Sustained.
Do you have any videos of the incident?
no.
Did you try to get videos of the incident?
I asked if there was videos. Like I told my lawyers to check if there was videos, but there's no cameras. I guess there was no cameras.
And when did you ask for that? What year?
I feel like when I got sued, I was like, when I got sued, I was like, oh, I know I didn't touch her. Like it's like look for them cameras because they'll tell you I ain't touch her.
When you went to the building of 8920 Wilshire Boulevard, and you saw Imani Ellis there on the 5th floor, was she wearing her uniform as a security guard?
Yes.
objection.
Oh, sorry.
You remember?
8920.
Again, you might want to just take a breath so your attorney can object.
Are you aware that my office is across the street?
No.
Okay. 8920 Wilshire Boulevard. You remember that number? You agree that that's the correct number? The address.
I remember that I went there, but I don't really remember the address and stuff like that. I don't.
Okay. If I show you the building with the number on it, would that help refresh your recollection?
Sure.
I don't have to really waste time if you don't want me to. When you were sitting here throughout the trial, you saw the 22
Yes.
pages I showed, correct?
Yes.
Was that the correct building?
Yes.
Oh, and you remember entering the building, going up some stairs, taking the lobby elevator, and going to the 5th floor, correct?
Yes.
And when you exited, you saw Imani Ellis right there in front of you.
Yes. No. When I exited the elevator,
Okay?
not the building, the elevator.
Correct. On the
Yes.
5th floor.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, Ms.
Morning.
Malcolm. My name is Peter Anderson, and we just have a few questions. I'll try and make it as quick as possible. Where were you working in February of 2018?
Women's care, OBGYN doctor's office.
Thank you. And do you recall an encounter between Cardi B and the woman to my left?
Yes.
Okay. What was your position at the doctor's office in February of 2018?
A receptionist, front office.
Okay. And did Cardi B have an appointment that day?
Yes.
Was it a Saturday?
Yes.
Was there, to your knowledge, were there any other offices that were open that day?
No.
And do you remember the time of the appointment?
It was the end of, we purposely closed, so we had early day, maybe between 12 and 1, I'm assuming.
Okay. And what do you mean by purposefully closed?
For Cardi B. We
To
didn't
maintain-
want anyone there.
To maintain privacy?
Yes.
So, to your knowledge, how did you learn that there was an encounter between the two?
Well, I was waiting for Cardi B's arrival, and I heard commotion out in the hallway, and there was a door to exit right where I was sitting. So I opened the door and I looked, and I heard and saw the commotion, and that's how I learned that something was going on outside.
Could you please describe for the jury what you heard and saw when you opened the door?
I saw them in the corner, Cardi B's back to the wall, and just a lot of arguing and, you know, just confrontation.
Okay. Do you recall anything that plaintiff, Ms. Ellis, said?
It was just very argumentative as far as, you know, cursing and, you know, just be this, be that. I don't know if I can curse, but.
So we've heard just about everything so far.
Okay.
It's been one of those trials.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I immediately walked over there and got in between them and was like, whoa, what's, you know, my thing was I'm at work. So the first thing that really came out of my mouth is to Miss Ellis, just as far as, what are you doing? You're at work, go back to your post. And then I don't know how long it was, but I couldn't get her. I just wanted everything to go away. I just was trying to calm everything down, take Cardi B into the office, and and I was trying to go. It was my sister's baby shower, so I was trying to get out of there. But I mean, that wasn't on my mind then, but just to calm the situation down and get her into the office.
How did Ms. Ellis respond?
I don't even know if she heard what I asked, because it was just more of just being upset and no, I'm not going to do that, and just, you know, them still exchanging words even with me in between.
Yeah. Was Ms. Ellis yelling at Cardi B?
I mean, it was pretty loud for me to hear. It was still the same volume from when I can hear them while I was in the office down the hall. So I would say so.
Was Ms. Ellis cursing at Cardi B?
There was definitely curse words, yes, on her end.
When you were there, did Ms. Ellis attempt to strike Cardi B?
There was hands going while I was in the middle. I know no one landed, or I was, you know, I didn't even realize, I guess because my adrenaline, that I had a mark on my forehead. So besides me getting a scratch, nobody, as far as them to hit each other.
Who scratched you?
Based off of, like I said, I didn't know that I even got scratched until I went into the office, and the nurse was like, Tiara, your forehead. But I can only assume Cardi B was behind me, because that was my main concern.
Objection calls for speculation.
Oh,
So Cardi B was behind you, and you were facing who?
I was facing Miss Ellis.
And you got hit on your forehead and
Or
didn't even
it was
realize
like
it at
a
that
scratch.
point.
Yeah,
so
blood.
Just let him finish the question.
Oh,
I'll go through it
sorry.
before you respond.
Sorry.
And so you got hit, you were facing Miss Ellis, and she was swinging away?
I can say there was definitely, you know, when people talk and like this type of action going on.
Right.
Yeah.
And you were hit on the on your forehead,
Yeah, like-
which was facing Miss Ellis, correct?
Yes.
What happened next?
After, just going back and forth, Dr. Finke came out. Once he came out, I believe after that, I don't even really remember what was said, but I know I continued to take Cardi B into the office, to her exam room, and then I went back to the front.
Okay. Did you witness Dr. Finke try to get Miss Ellis to leave the hallway?
Yes, that's what kind of, since he came out and he was talking to her, that's what kind of distracted her, gave us the opportunity to just go into the office.
Okay. And do you recall anything that he said to her?
I think he was on the same temperature as me, just you're at work. Why are you up here? Go back, downstairs. And what are you doing? Type of energy.
Okay. And so you turned around and escorted Cardi B into the doctor's office?
Yes, I followed behind her to go to the exam room.
When you were face to face with Miss Ellis, I take it you could see her face?
Yes.
Did you see any scratches on her face?
No.
Did you see any cuts on her face?
No.
Did you see any blood on her face?
No.
Did you see any injury at all on her face?
No.
Did you see any spit or spittle on her face?
No.
Did anyone spit in that encounter?
Objection calls for speculation.
While you were there, man.
While I was there, no.
Did you hear Miss Ellis yell at Cardi B, and excuse my language, "I will fuck your shit up"?
Something, something along those words.
At any point in time in that confrontation, did Cardi B hit Miss Ellis?
No.
At any point in that confrontation, did Cardi B cut Miss Ellis with Cardi's fingernails
Objection calls for speculation.
while you were there?
Over.
No.
Did you hear Cardi B use the N-word, excuse me, I apologize. Yeah, no, did you hear Cardi B use the N-word? You know what I mean by the N-word?
Yeah. No.
After this encounter and Cardi B had gotten into the doctor's office, at any point after that, did you talk to the building management about what had happened?
Yes. That was a Saturday. So Monday, my supervisor and Dr. Finke wanted to make a report since there was an incident and, the importance of making sure our patients, their privacy isn't compromised. So yeah, they asked me to go downstairs with them or with my supervisor and make a report.
After this incident, did plaintiff call you? Miss Ellis call you?
It was, yes, there was a call transferred to my line. It was her on the other end of the call.
How long after the incident? How long after February 24 of 2018?
Maybe, I can't recall exactly, but at least within, 3 months. It wasn't right after, but it wasn't too long after.
Can you tell us what the sum and substance of that conversation was?
Just kind of upset about what happened. She got fired. She couldn't believe that happened and wanted, I guess, to see if I can assist in any way since I was there. I pretty much replied as respectful as I could and just said, this is my place of work and I really can't have anything to do with this.
And was there any other thoughts that you had when she told you, did she tell you she was planning on suing Cardi B?
I don't remember word for word, but based off of our conversation, I assumed that was probably going to be one of her steps. But in my mind, I just was kind of shocked that she was calling based off of what took place. I figured, you know, she was at fault, so that was surprising that she would call me.
Okay. Thank you. Those are all the questions I have for you.
Okay.
All right. Prosecutor?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Thank you all for coming back. Good morning,
Good morning.
Ms. Tiara Malcolm. When Miss Imani Ellis called you several months later and asked you to help her, what is the reason that you chose not to do so?
Well, main reason I didn't feel like she was in the right. I felt like based off of her position, working at the office, everything was handled unprofessionally, and going back and forth. No, she didn't work at our office, but clearly Cardi B was a patient going, you know, she had a purpose at that building where she worked at. So I didn't feel, I don't know what I would help her with. I don't think if I told my truth it would help her. So.
Were you aware that Miss Ellis was a security guard at your building?
Yes.
Do you understand that the security guard is supposed to go from floor to floor to make sure everything is safe? Are you aware of that?
I don't know the rules.
I'm sorry, what was the objection?
Irrelevant.
Assisting.
Had you ever seen Miss Ellis on other days aside from the date of the incident? And I will represent to you the date of the incident for purposes of all my questions will be February 24th of 2018.
I believe that was the first day I seen her there.
Okay. When you saw her, when you got to work, did you see her anywhere in the building?
No.
What time did you get to work?
On a Saturday, maybe around 8.
8 a.m.? Okay. And had you ever spoken to Miss Ellis before the date of the incident?
No.
Is there any reason why, when you would go to work at the 8920 building, Wilshire Boulevard building, for how long had you been working there before the date of the incident?
For about
Overall, just hold on.
for about 7 years, just about.
And during those 7 years, did you see other security guards in the building?
Actually relevant.
Assisting.
And when Miss Ellis's attorneys asked you to cooperate and sign a declaration, did you do that?
A form.
Not a form. Did you ever sign a declaration under penalty of perjury on August 26, 2025, which would be yesterday?
A declaration. Sorry, I'm not.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Sure.
Relevant, Your Honor?
Assisting.
Did you give permission to the other side to sign a declaration under penalty of perjury in this case?
Oh, from,
Objection, Your Honor?
Assisting.
Have you ever signed any document related to this incident?
Objection, Your Honor, relevant.
Assisting.
Did you make any type of formal complaint to the building about this incident?
And make your assistant formal.
Overall.
when my supervisor wanted to make a complaint, since I was there, yeah, that's when I went downstairs with my supervisor.
And who did you make a complaint to?
Douglas Emmett, the property management manager that managed the building.
Okay. And what was your complaint? What did you say?
They just wanted me to tell them what happened and the concern of the privacy of our patients.
Are you a Cardi B fan?
I know her music. I guess I listen to her music. I listen to hip hop.
Okay. And you like her music, right?
Objection, relevance.
Yes?
Yeah, she's
Have you-
talented.
All right. Have you ever gone to any of her concerts?
No.
Have you ever, well, I withdraw that. Okay. And for purposes of the visit on Saturday, the doctor's office decided to close to give her a special appearance to see the doctor, correct?
Objection, argumentative.
I withdraw the question. When Cardi B came to the office, the purpose of her coming to your office was to see Dr. Finke for medical care, correct?
Yes.
When you went outside into the hallway, the confrontation that you testified about was already occurring before you got there, correct?
Yes, that's what made me go outside.
All right. Do you know for about how long this confrontation was going on before you made your way outside?
I was sitting there waiting, so as soon as I heard the noise, it wasn't that seconds after was when I heard it, so I don't think it was going on that long.
Okay. Did Cardi B, while you were there, in any way touch Miss Ellis?
No,
Did Miss Ellis in any way touch Cardi B while you were there?
no.
When you got there, were they chest to chest? Were they touching chest to chest?
I couldn't really see Cardi B because she was kind of cornered with her back against the wall. I really just saw Miss Ellis in front of her, and that's what made me rush and get in between them.
Okay. And when you say you saw her back against the wall, how were you able to see her back from where you were standing?
Objection, this characterizes.
Were you assuming that, I withdraw the question, were you assuming that Cardi B's back was up against the wall when you saw that?
No, I'm not assuming. I could see it because I literally looked down the hall when I opened the door.
And was Cardi B's back actually touching the wall or was close to the wall?
I don't know if it was touching her. It was close. So I didn't.
And you know that this incident happened 7.5 years ago, correct?
Yes,
And
that's
you
why I
remember all
don't
these? You
remember if her back was touching or
Right.
inches away. But
Yeah.
I know it was very close to the wall.
Right. And it was a very long time ago, so how did you remember all these details? Did you write them down somewhere? Did you record it? Or is this just off of memory from 7.5 years ago?
I just remember. There's certain things I remember when I was 4. I just remember because it was a confrontation and I was sitting there ready to go because I had to drive all the way to Tarzana. And it was a story that I had to my sister coming back, like, you can't believe why I was late type of story.
Right.
So,
And your purpose of coming here is to help Cardi B or help Miss Ellis?
my purpose is to tell the truth.
Of course.
That's my purpose.
And when Miss Ellis or her attorney tried to reach out to you, you refused to speak with them, correct? But when Cardi B's attorneys spoke to you and reached out to you, you talked to them immediately and you signed a declaration for them on the spot, correct?
Objection, Your Honor.
This is the,
When you were there and you got in between the two of them, I want you to think of it like a hamburger bun. You're the hamburger and the two of them are the buns. How did you get in between them? Did you physically push them apart? Did they magically back up from one another? How did you get in between them? How?
Just like you said, it was 7 years ago. So I'm walking upset because of what I'm seeing.
Right.
And that's just how I am when I see I mean, it's not like I see it all the time, but seeing what was going on, I just immediately, that's just what I did. I
Right.
didn't really think about, I didn't really have a plan. That's just what I did to try to calm it down.
Okay. And Miss Ellis, who's sitting to my left, you heard her cursing at Cardi B on the date of the incident?
Yes.
You actually heard profanity,
I actually heard profanity.
many different ones.
Yes.
How do you know it wasn't Cardi B that was using the profanity?
They have two different voices.
Okay. Was Cardi B using any profanities on the date of the incident?
Yeah, she was upset.
Did she use profanity?
Profanity, yes.
F word.
Curse words.
Bitch, F you, all that, correct?
Yes.
And you don't really know what happened before you got there, correct? You have no way of knowing.
I wasn't there before I got there.
So if there was any physical contact, whether it was spitting, scratching, or cutting someone's face, you wouldn't know that because you weren't there during that time period before you got there, correct? Do you understand my question? Let me withdraw it. In the, let's just call it the 40 to 50 seconds while there was a confrontation, I'll give you that estimated time. During the 40 to 50 minutes of seconds when they had their confrontation, you would have no way of knowing what happened during that duration of time because you weren't there. Is that fair?
Yeah, I wasn't there. I only heard.
No, anything could have happened, right?
Objection, cultural speculation.
Over.
Correct?
Yeah, I wasn't there.
Imani Ellis could have hit Cardi
Okay,
B.
Counselor, she wasn't there.
Okay,
So
I withdraw it. When you saw Cardi B that day, you spent time with her, right? In your medical office, correct?
Not a lot of time, but I spent the time from taking her to her exam room, making sure she was okay, and once the last patient was checked in, I was out of there.
Okay. And how long did you spend with her?
Not that long, maybe a minute, if that.
When the patient
You
went
mean
into...
when we went into the, just to make sure you're saying,
No.
when we went into the office, how long did I spend with her? Yeah, maybe,
15 minutes, half an hour?
no. I was still ready to go, maybe a minute.
Did you notice that she was wearing, do you notice that she had fingernails? Did you look at her fingernails?
I don't remember that.
Did you notice that Cardi B had long fingernails on the date of the incident?
Objection, mischaracterizes the evidence and argumentative.
assisting.
Did you see the size of Cardi B's fingernails on the date of the incident?
I don't remember her having or seeing her nails.
And have you ever seen her before? Does she wear long fingernails?
I don't know what she wears.
On the date of the incident, would you agree that because you did not look at her fingernails, you have no idea as to how long the fingernails were on the date of the incident?
Objection,
True?
calls for speculation, lacks foundation.
Assisting.
When you said that you saw arms flying, you also testified a moment ago that you weren't sure whose arms were flying, correct?
Mischaracterized testimony.
Overruled.
I believe I stated I was facing Miss Ellis. So Cardi B was behind me.
Right.
So I could only see the arms that were flying in front of me. I can't recall. She was behind me, so
Right.
I think I would have felt something behind me.
Okay. So if Cardi B had taken a swing, you would not be able to see that.
Most likely I would. Oh, sorry.
See, I'm not talking about feeling. Would you agree that because Cardi B was behind you, if she took a swing without touching your body, you would not be able to see that? True?
Mischaracterizes the testimony and is cultural speculation.
Overruled.
I didn't see her hands flying on the side of me.
I understand that. But
Yeah.
again, I would like to know the answer to this question.
What was your question? I'm sorry, I
Of
forgot.
course. So the question is, because you were facing Imani Ellis, you have no idea what Cardi B was doing at that moment, right?
Objection.
So if Cardi B was,
She was pretty much like the back of this chair. That's how close she was to me.
I understand
So
that.
I didn't feel anything or see any hands come from behind me.
understood, but if Cardi B took a swing, because you were not facing her and you were focusing on Imani Ellis, and you don't have eyes in the
No, I
back of your
didn't see
head,
her hands.
you would not be able to know what she was doing.
Right.
So if she took a swing, you wouldn't be able to know. Fair?
Okay, yeah. Let's see.
As far as what would you characterize the injury to your forehead?
A cut. It was just bleeding a little bit.
It was bleeding.
Yes.
Okay. How did that cut get there? I withdraw the question. Did that scratch or cut or anything get there at the time of this incident?
Yes, it definitely wasn't there before I went outside.
Okay. All right. So now we're going to get into this. There's only 3 options, and you could add more if you want, but I'm going to give you 3. The cut came from you, the cut came from Ellis, or the cut came from Cardi B. Or make up your own. Where did the cut come from? And if you don't know, you can say, I don't know. Do you know?
It definitely didn't come from me.
Okay, so that's out. You got 2 more.
And
Ellis and Cardi B. Or
Cardi
your own.
was behind me, so the only assumption that I had was it was from Miss Ellis because she was facing me.
Okay. But did you ever see Miss Ellis take her fingers or her hand or any other object and cause damage to your head? Did you ever see that?
I seen hands trying to reach over me, so like I said, the adrenaline and everything was going so fast. But being that she was in front of me and hands were going like this, that's the only realistic assumption I can have, is that that's why I got cut.
Okay. But you're assuming, correct?
Objection.
I think you're asking her to assume, counsel.
Are you assuming?
Your Honor, objection.
Yeah, why don't we move on?
How do you know that Cardi B's fingernail didn't cut your forehead?
Objection, Your Honor, asked and answered.
Sistine.
She was behind
You
me.
don't need to answer.
Oh, sorry.
Did Dr. Finke see the cut to your forehead?
I believe so. His nurse is the one who pointed it out.
Did you receive any medical treatment for that cut?
No, I just put some alcohol, alcohol
All right. So
swab.
you agree that something physical happened when the 3 of you were there because you got cut to your face. Is that fair? Something physical happened.
Objection, relevance.
Overruled.
If I got cut, I guess so. I don't.
Okay. So would you agree that there was a physical fight?
No.
So you just got cut from the air?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sistine.
Did Miss Imani Ellis have any fingernails?
I don't remember if she had fingernails.
Was Imani Ellis angry at the time of the incident?
Yes.
Was Cardi B angry at the time of the incident?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sistine.
And back to the hamburger question, did you at any point use your hands to separate the 2 of them, Imani Ellis and Cardi B?
No.
So did you just squeeze yourself in? How did you get in there?
Asked and answered, Your Honor.
Sistine.
When you had the conversation with Miss Ellis on the phone, did you actually speak with her?
Yes. On
Did
the
you-
phone. Yes.
Yeah. And let me ask you, when you were on the telephone, did she tell you anything, Miss Ellis, when she was talking to you that day?
From what I can remember, just being upset about what happened, her no longer being employed there, and I don't remember the word for word.
Okay. So she, Miss Ellis was basically asking you to assist her in some way to be her witness, correct? That was the purpose of the call?
Objection, calls for speculation.
Sistine.
Purpose.
Did Miss Ellis's attorney contact you?
I don't remember that.
Did Miss Ellis ever come inside your office at any time between the date of the incident and today?
Objection relevant?
Sustained.
Do you know if Miss Ellis spoke with Dr. Finke at any point?
Objection relevant?
Sustained.
As far as your background, do you have any professional degrees?
I got my AA at West LA College. I'm a real estate agent. That's about it.
That's good. And have you ever been convicted of a felony?
No.
And aside from Dr. Finke's office, were you working other places during that time period? Or was that your main job?
That was my main job.
And at this time, you no longer work there, right?
No.
And on the date of the incident, because Cardi B was your patient, you felt that it was necessary to go outside to bring her inside to help her get inside for the medical appointment, correct?
Objection relevant? Asked and answered.
Sustained.
I have no further questions. Thank you.
All right, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, any questions from the jury? Oh, you have one? Okay, great. All right, I think these questions are appropriate. Ma'am, when you, did you actually close your office to maintain privacy for Cardi B?
Yes.
And when you do that, was it your custom and practice to also notify the building security?
I honestly don't know if that was done or not.
Did you normally do that, or were you?
That wasn't my task, no.
Okay. Do you recall the N-word coming out of Cardi B's mouth?
No.
Can you describe Cardi B's emotional state during and after the incident?
Upset, emotional, worried about the reason why she was there. I don't know if I'm sure. But
You don't know the details?
no, I don't know if
Oh, in terms of the medical issues? I mean,
yeah.
testimony is that she was there for a pregnancy checkup.
Yeah, so just concerned about that and being upset
Okay.
about her privacy.
Did you notice whether Miss Ellis had a phone or a camera during the incident?
She had a phone in her hand.
She did have a phone in her hand?
Yes.
All right. Those are the questions that I think are appropriate. Any follow-up from defense?
Oh, no, Your Honor.
All right. For plaintiff?
It is, just one follow-up, Your Honor. The day when when you decided to close your office to have a medical appointment, that was a Saturday. Is your medical office usually open on Saturday?
Yes.
And you usually close around 1:30 or 2 or 3, or you go all day?
No, it's half a day. So usually, from what I can remember, the last patient was around noon or 11:45 noon, somewhere around there.
Isn't it true that Cardi B was the last patient of the day?
Yeah, she was the last patient. So we finished our morning and made sure she was the last one.
You
Just
were
right there.
I'm sorry. Do you work on Sundays as well?
No.
And the half a day on Saturdays when you're there, were you in charge of closing the office?
Your Honor, this is outside the scope of the questions.
Sustained.
No further questions.
All right, can this witness be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you for coming down.
Thank you.
Subject to recall.
Did you subpoena her?
No.
Then I don't think it's subject to recall. All right. All right, do we want to resume the direct of Ms. Cardi B?
Yes.
All right.
Well, no, he's going to resume the direct case.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were up. Yeah. Yes.
So that was a
Yes. No,
that was a
you're good.
776 cross, so now it's
Yes,
the
yes,
defense
yes, yes,
attorney.
yes, Your Honor, yes, yes.
Do you want to resume the take the stand, ma'am?
Oh, okay. Jesus. We've all.
I think we're all ready for a recess, that's all.
I know.
All right, you're reminded you're still under oath?
Yes.
All right. Counsel? He passed the question.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
I apologize.
See,
Okay, then
I was
it is your
right.
turn.
Your Honor, permission to go beyond the scope.
We already discussed that. He was lodging objections, but you're going to be asking questions? Is that the plan?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Ms. Moore is going to be asking the questions,
All right.
and the request is to,
No, we discussed that you can go beyond the scope. Just typically, if it's your witness, you're doing the objections, okay? I'll let it go this time.
okay.
Go ahead, Ms. Moore.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Marty, can you tell us how you got into the music industry?
Objection relevance?
Overruled.
How I got into the music industry? Well, I became like a social media personality, and I had a manager at the time, and he always noticed that like I will always like do songs my way, like my wordings. And he was like, "You're really witty and you're really quick. You should try making music." And I was like, all my friends do music. If they make it, what you think I'm gonna make it? So like,
If you could just pull the microphone a little bit more towards you or sit one part of there.
okay. So I was just like, if my friends haven't made it yet, what makes you think I'm gonna make it? And he was like, just try it. No one hurt you to try. So I tried it, and I really enjoyed like listening to like the end results. It's like almost like cooking for me. Like I was like, oh, I'm not sure if I could cook, but I like the end results. Like I did pretty good. And that's how I got into music.
Were you doing any television?
Yes. Well, now when he suggested that like you should try to do music.
But later, were you doing any television?
Yes.
What type of TV show?
Reality TV.
Reality? What show was it?
Love and hip hop.
Love and Hip Hop. Where? Love and Hip Hop.
Objection relevance?
Overruled, but please move it along.
Yep. When did you release your first mixtape?
Objection relevance?
Yeah, so I'll give you some do some background, but it needs to be a little bit more
Sure.
excited.
Sure. I'll cut to the chase. Marty, do you have a record deal
Objection
Yes.
relevance?
Overruled.
with who?
Objection relevance?
Overruled.
Atlantic Records.
Do you have any platinum certified songs?
Objection to relevance.
Overruled.
Yes.
Do you have any Grammy awards?
Objection to relevance.
Overruled. Counsel, you asked her about her
Yes.
siblings, you asked her about her
I'll
birthday,
move on,
you
Your Honor.
asked her a
Happy
number
to
of
move on.
questions.
Sure, happy to move on.
So,
Happy, Your Honor, thank you.
all right.
Party, why did you want to keep your pregnancy a secret?
I wanted to keep my pregnancy a secret because I just had a hit record. I haven't had my album out. And everybody that I worked with, they were very scared. You know, like I finally made it. And like people that like been in the industry also for like a while, it was like, I don't know if anybody has ever, a female rapper has ever came out pregnant on their freshman year without an album, just 1 or 2, 3 records. So I was very nervous. I was also kind of like, even though I was on TV, when I first had my first big record, Bodak Yellow, I was really like getting used to big fame, bigger stages and stuff. So I was just so worried about and overwhelmed with what everybody was like saying and thinking, and I felt like I was just letting a lot of people down. But
And when you were face to face with Mrs. Ellis,
Mhm.
did you ever threaten to get her fired?
no,
And I want to be very, very clear. Did you ever spit on Mrs. Ellis?
no,
Did you ever call Miss Ellis the N-word? Apologies.
no.
Cardi, where were you living in 2018?
In 2018, I was living in between New Jersey and Atlanta.
Where were your regular OBGYN doctors?
Objection to relevance.
Sustained.
Why were you in LA the week of February 24th?
I was doing NBA All-Star Weekend, and I just had like a whole bunch of promotional things to do out here in California.
Was part of your work, did you have to attend an NBA game?
Yes.
Yesterday, plaintiff's counsel asked you some questions about your hair. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And one of the questions he asked you was, on the date of the incident, did you have black hair, blonde hair, or different color hair? Do you remember him asking you that?
Yes.
Do you remember how you responded?
I don't know. I really don't remember what color hair I had.
Your Honor, I'd like to show the witness some photographs, please.
Can you identify?
Can you show them to counsel first
Of course.
and provide a copy?
Yes, I have one for you right now.
Are they pre-marked? Are they pre-marked?
No, I think it's for refresh your memory.
Yes.
Okay. You want to just identify the next in order?
Yes, that's fine, Your Honor, thank you, which I think is.
232.
And this is a photograph of who?
I'm sorry, counsel, it's her direction, she can identify it for the record.
Thank you, Your Honor.
232?
Are you going to put this in front of you? All right, can you please look at this photograph and tell me, do you recognize this?
Yes.
What is this photograph?
That is me out here in LA at a All-Star Weekend NBA game.
And does this picture refresh your recollection about what your hair color was that week?
Yes.
What color was it?
I'll say like a ashy, dirty blonde.
Can you see your nails in that photo?
Yes.
And were you wearing acrylic nails or some other type?
Acrylic.
And I think you testified yesterday that acrylic nails can last you up to 2 weeks, is that right?
Yes.
Are those the nails you had the entire time you were in LA?
Yes.
How would you describe those nails, looking at them in the photo?
I'll say, to my taste, they're like kind of short. They're square, they boxy. They have like stones, flat rhinestones in the middle. They orangey.
I'm sorry, did you say the flat rhinestones were in the middle?
Yeah.
And how long would you estimate I know you said you feel like they were short, but could you estimate how long you feel like they were?
Like an inch, maybe less. An inch or so.
And what shape are they?
They like coffin square.
Are those the nails you were wearing on the date of the incident?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd like to move this into evidence and publish it for the jury.
Any objection?
No.
Go ahead.
Cardi, do you remember, did you get your nails done before you came to LA or after?
It's most likely before LA.
Okay. But they were the same nails the whole time you were here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
I have no more questions for this witness, Your Honor.
All right, redirect.
So the photograph that we're looking at there, what date was the photograph taken?
I'm not sure the date, but I know it was that weekend of All Stars and stuff.
Okay. And what time of day did this photograph, what time of day was it taken? Was it morning, afternoon, evening?
Overruled.
It had to be like around like a 6 p.m. like whatever time like games start. It really depends. Like that week, it was just I'm not sure, but it wasn't like a night. It was like probably in the afternoon or something.
And when you go out at night, do you change your clothing and fix yourself up to prepare for the evening?
Objection.
Sustained.
Were you dressed this exact way when you saw Dr. Finke on the date of the incident?
No.
So you changed your clothing completely different than this, correct?
Yes.
Could you have also changed your nails?
Objection, cultural speculation.
Overruled.
No. It's not that easy to change acrylic nails.
But you told us before that it would take about 2 hours to do that, correct?
Yes. But I know for a fact, I mean, if you could track down that whole week, I had these nails on for sure.
Yeah. Your Honor, I would want to zoom in the photograph just to show the nails better than what we can see.
Can we do that?
With the focus on the left hand or right hand.
Well, that works.
That's wonderful. Thank you. So if we look at that, that's your right hand, correct?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
And if you wanted to scratch someone with those nails and cause them to have a cut to their face, you could do it with those nails, can't you?
Cultural speculation.
Sustained.
The nails that we see in this photograph, are they sharp in your opinion?
Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled. Well, it's referring to the photograph now.
No, they are not sharp at all. Those are not sharp nails.
Okay. Now, you heard a witness, Tiara Malcolm, a few
Yes.
moments ago in the last 15, 20 minutes, She testified that she also had a cut to her face. Do you remember hearing that in court?
Yes.
So how did she get the cut on her face? If you know, how do you, if you know?
It wouldn't be for me.
Is it possible that when you were reaching over, you cut her face?
Objection.
Sustained.
And the rhinestones that you see there, you consider those to be flat?
Yes.
And you consider yourself to be a freshman in 2018. Does that mean you just started your career in music and rapping and all that?
Yes.
So before 2018, you were not a rapper?
I was.
Overruled.
When did you first start?
I first started rapping in 2016, but I became a superstar for rapping in 2017.
Okay.
So, just being blessed then. So,
All right.
Freshman.
And why was it, aside from what you've told us, that you feel being a freshman and being pregnant, the two didn't match? Was there any other reason, aside from that you wanted to keep your pregnancy a secret?
Objection, mischaracterizes the testimony.
Sustained.
Earlier, you testified that when you went to the doctor's office on the date of the incident, you wanted to keep your pregnancy a secret, correct?
yes.
And the reason you wanted to keep it a secret was because you were a rapper, correct?
Objection, mischaracterizes the testimony, argumentative.
Sustained.
Why did you want to keep your pregnancy a secret?
Objection, asked and answered.
Overruled.
My career. I didn't tell my parents yet. I was just very overwhelmed.
And when you thought that your secret was being violated, it made you angry, correct?
Objection, argumentative, mischaracterizes the testimony, lacks foundation.
Overruled.
You can,
Yes, I feel like my privacy was completely being violated. I wouldn't want to be anything that had to do with my medical records or anything. Even if I do cosmetic surgery, I don't want people to be in anything that has to do with medical in your business. It's just especially something that is so sacred as your pregnancy is yours.
and you would do anything to protect that privacy, correct?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
And aside from your assumption that you were being recorded by Miss Imani Ellis, was there any other assumptions that you had at the time of the incident?
Objection, argumentative, mischaracterizes the testimony.
Sustained.
You had a belief, a state of mind, that Imani Ellis was recording you at the time of the incident, correct?
Objection, outside the scope of redirect, and
Sustained.
No further questions, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Any redirect? All right. Any questions from the jury? I'm not seeing any hands. All right. You can step down then. All right. I think we're not going to have another witness before lunch, or I'm sorry, does plaintiff have another witness for after lunch?
We do not, Your Honor.
All right. Does plaintiff rest?
No, Your Honor.
Well, are you going to have a witness after lunch?
I would like to discuss this outside the presence of the jury.
All right. Okay, folks, we're going to take our lunch break now. We're going to resume back at 1:30. In the meantime, please don't discuss the case with anyone, including other jurors. Don't form any opinions or do any research. We'll see you at 1:30.
basically, he was supposed to have his witnesses lined up for this afternoon, to call them out of order. I explained to him and the court this morning that I have 3 witnesses, which are Dr. Azizulai, Ms. Parsi, and Michael Shok, and they are unavailable for today, and we wanted to call them out of order, requesting that the court allow them to testify on Tuesday.
Okay, well, you haven't made your offer of proof with respect to whether or not their testimony is relevant to anything?
Yes, Your Honor. So, may I do that now?
Well, I thought you said you didn't know what they were going to say.
I spoke to them
When?
during the break.
Okay. And what are they going to say?
So Dr. Azizulahi is going to say that he had been advised there's a disturbance in the building. His assistant, Ms. Parsi, went upstairs to the 5th floor. He did not go to the 5th floor. Michael Shok was on the 5th floor as well.
Okay, let's start. Keep with the doctor. So what's he going to say?
Doctor's going to say that there was a disturbance in the building,
Okay, that's undisputed.
and that's it for him.
Okay, so we don't need him, right?
No.
Okay, so what's the next witness?
Ms. Parsi is his assistant, went
Okay.
upstairs to find out what was going on and witnessed the confrontation between the 3 individuals the 2 individuals and the person that intervened, Ms. Malcolm.
So she's going to testify as to what she saw, which includes the disturbance and.
Only,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, only what she saw, and it could go to the scratch on Ms. Malcolm's head. We can gain some information how that came about. I didn't discuss that with her, however, she was present during that piece. And Michael Shok was a patient that was on the 5th floor walking in the hallway, and he's a witness to the entire confrontation.
And so let's go back to when you identified these people.
They've been on the witness list for many months now. I'm not sure if it was the 2024 one, however, definitely in July it was there. I can check my records. They've known about this, and it's the same issue that they had that we had.
And so when did you learn of Mr. Schultz?
We learned of it when an investigator did investigation several months ago, at least several months ago, and found out that he was an actual witness, an eyewitness to the incident. Your Honor, the only witness list that I have is from July 25th of 2025. He's been on this witness list.
He's not on that one.
Yes, he is, Your Honor. I have a copy for the court.
Oh, okay. I see him.
Yeah.
Mike Shaw.
Michael Shok, Azizulahi, and Parsi are all on that one. Mr. Lamb and I had a conversation about this at length. We created this list together. He told me his witnesses. I told him my witnesses. He signed this. They've never objected to it one time till recently. And the only reason they've objected is to, I'm not clear why they want to do it. It seems to be very one-sided that they can exclude our witnesses, but we can't exclude theirs. So I would ask the court not to exclude ours, since the court has not excluded theirs.
All right, and what's Mr. Schultz going to testify to?
Mr. Shok is going to testify that he was a patient at a different doctor's office on the 5th floor, and he was walking in the hallway to go to the bathroom, and he saw the incident himself with his own eyes.
All right, for the defense.
First, Your Honor, just so the record is clear, counsel did say that he could not continue with witnesses today. He did mention something about taking people out of order. I have told him that I don't think he has that right, and earlier today I mentioned that taking witnesses, defense taking witnesses out of order is not the same thing as the plaintiff being unable to proceed with witnesses at the time of trial. As the court knows, trial was continued several times. The 2024 witness list, jointly filed, does not have any of these people. These people were first listed, if memory serves, in the July 2025 witness list, and we did object, but that ruling, that has never been heard by the court at this point. They were first identified in July 2025. We were not told what their potential testimony would be. We were told that Dr. Azizolaki.
Well, he's not testifying because he doesn't have anything to add.
Right, and the other ones, we were told there was one that was a receptionist and Shock, a guest. So we were not given any substance at all. At no point did they disclose that, and counsel was unable to disclose it this morning, and now he's making certain representations. The fact of the matter is, and I should also say that we are ready to proceed. We got two more witnesses, Dr. Rosenberg, who's the designated expert, and Dr. Finke. And we want to get this trial done. We're ready to go.
Okay,
May I respond to one thing, Your Honor, please?
go ahead.
So in form interrogatory responses, back in 2022, the same way that the defendant responded and said there's two individuals who are witnesses, that is the same way that plaintiff responded. It's the same thing. And it's attached to plaintiff's opposition to defendant's request to produce witnesses at trial. It was filed with the court yesterday or the day before, and it has all of the discovery. I'm sorry, actually no. This one has a discovered defendant, but I do have the discovered the plaintiff. It was used in this case by the opposing side. They knew that we had these witnesses that we didn't know their names, and the 2024 expert designation was not real because we had agreed to put the trial around this time, and I don't really remember doing anything with the witness list. That may be a list that they created and they filed. I definitely don't remember signing that. I don't think my signature would be on that document. So if they prepared something and filed it, I was not part of it. They just decided to file it on their own.
All right.
I was just going to say, what I think counsel is saying is that he did not identify any of these three people back in 2024. He's now contesting
2022.
Well, no, I'm talking about the joint witness list.
I think I understand, and so I think here's the issue: is it certainly would have been appropriate for both parties to have done the investigation at the outset of the case to identify who these witnesses were. That didn't happen. It sounds as though both sides engaged in investigative work after discovery was closed and identified new witnesses. I'm going to take plaintiff's counsel's representations at face value, and that they were recently identified. These witnesses were on the July 25 joint trial witness list. To the extent that they were identified, the people were identified after discovery was closed. I think it's appropriate that they be allowed to testify. But it's going to be on a short leash. And I indicated during the pretrial conference that I am relatively liberal in the interest of expediting the process of the case to call witnesses out of order. And so we'll suspend plaintiff's case now. We'll start the defense case. But your witnesses need to be here Tuesday morning and they're not testifying.
All right, Queen B,
I
thank
understand,
you
Your
for
Honor.
subscribing.
Will defense speak?
Thanks
They
everyone. I
need
do
to
want to say
24 hours notice. It's
something.
fine.
Don't be
I'm
in
not
here
that
talking
picky.
about you about to
My
report
question is,
somebody. Yes,
will
you are
Dr.
is in the
Rosenberg
building.
and
If you don't like
Dr.
something someone is saying, you don't have to
Finke
engage with
be
them.
testifying
You're
this
not going to be
afternoon, so at
starting
least
stuff
during the
in
lunch
here
hour I
if you
can do
can't back
something.
it up. But you
Your
can keep
Honor,
it clean,
yes.
just express
I got
yourself.
two voice notices
Cardi B,
which
rapper
you
Cardi
can
B is
play
on trial,
here, which
not
were
us.
Not particularly coherent.
You got to stop letting
counsel
other
that
emotions
said
take
that
over
he
to where we
doesn't
can't
have
even have decent
witnesses.
Okay, I've already
conversation
ruled on
as
that.
adults.
Yeah,
Do you have witnesses for this afternoon?
Yes, and I
Getting out
advised
Cardi
him as soon as he told
when there's a
I'm
lot
not
of
disputing
people
the
that's
24
grown that
hours.
can't even
Please
talk
stop
to each other.
Well, sorry, I was going
All
to
right.
respond to the 24-hour
You
notice.
need to
We
chill
did, in
out.
fact,
You talking
tell
about
him
reporting
as
somebody
soon
here.
as
I'm
he
trying
said
to find
that,
out who
Yeah, but
said
this is
that
for the
because
afternoon?
you done got
Okay, very good.
booted
We'll
out
see
of
you
here.
then.
Straight up.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks for coming through with Kiy NY7. All right. So I'm trying to see what they went to lunch. Hold on. All right. What I was gonna do is just show a little recap. Cardi B had people laughing a lot yesterday. She took the stand for the first time. She had her blonde wig on, and she was basically like, she didn't consider it a violent altercation. So the way she is, she's just very charming in her ways, and people really like when she does speak because she's very entertaining. Regardless of how you feel about her, you can't say that she doesn't have a very bubbly personality, and she's very easily wins people over. I think that's one of, if you could say, gifts of Cardi B. She's very fashionable and all that too. She's just good at what she does. So there's that. I'm just reading the chat through too. There's some of y'all that are bringing up her past too, about how she bragged about robbing people and stuff, lock her up. I get that, but that wouldn't pertain to the case, you know. So, yeah. And then moving on, and some of the other stuff y'all was saying, she already like sued and won against Tasha K for some of that other kind of talk, that there's no actual proof of that, at least has been shown publicly. I reserve my thoughts on that because I believe what I believe too. I don't care what how the case went. But and I'm entitled to that. Just want to show some highlights, possibly, yeah, from yesterday while they're on their lunch break. I appreciate all the new subscribers. I can only see the public ones, but I appreciate all the new ones as well. Thank you. Thanks for hitting the like, because people be scared to hit the like.
She was coming in.
It's easy like a prostitute. Just click.
I was coming out. I could hear her. She was talking on the phone, and she said, "Oh my God, yo, Cardi B's here." So I kind of speed walk, but I feel her behind me. Then I hear her talking like, "Oh my God, Cardi B is here." So I turn around, and she had her phone. She didn't have it here no more. Now she has it here. And I asked her, "Yo, why are you recording me?" And she clearly looked like the security. She looked like the security guard. She's uniformed down. And I'm like, "Why are you recording me? Are you security?" And she's like, "Oh, my bad." But then I'm walking, and I feel her still following me. So like as I'm walking, speed walking, trying to look for the office, I turn around again. I'm like, "Why are you following me?" She's like, "Because I can." It's like, "No, you can't. Why are you following me for? Like, ain't you supposed to be security?" And she's like, "Because I can." It's like, "No, you can." And she's like getting closer and closer. Like now she's like in front of me where I can't even like really maneuver. And I'm like, "Ain't you supposed to be security? Like you grouped out, you recording me. Now you following me. Like back up." And she's like, "I can do what I want." It's like, "No, you can. Like you can't do what you want." And that's when we started arguing.
What did you say?
I was like, "You can't do what you want. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's like you invading my privacy." And now we're like chest to chest practically. So I keep telling her like, you need to back up. And I'm thinking to myself like, this girl's big. She's big. She got big black boots on. And I'm like, now she's literally right in my face, like on my chest, and we're arguing. And I keep telling her to back up, but she's not backing up. And we arguing, cursing at each other. I did call her the B word. I did call her a bitch. My face. I did. Get my face. You're in my face. You're screaming in my face. We're like literally we're literally screaming at each other. And she kept telling me like, "You're gonna leave my building." I'm like, "I'm not leaving. Like, how you harassing me? I'm not leaving. Like, how you telling me to leave? I came to see a doctor, You following me. You're recording me. I'm just trying to check my cat. You're recording me. And we're arguing. That's when the receptionist came out. She started wilding out like, this hit me, and I'm like, I did not hit her. I'm looking at her like, girl, I can't even hit you if I want to. You're bigger than me and you're pregnant. And she just started wilding out like, this hit me. Then the doctor came out and he's like, go to my office. And after that, I just walk away. That's just that.
Are you aware in the city of Beverly Hills, if a security guard tells you to leave the building, which they are security of, you would be required to do that? Do you agree with that?
Objection, well, that's...
A security not supposed to.
You don't need to.
Did Miss Imani Ellis tell you that you're causing a disturbance in the building?
No. She was causing a disturbance. She's recording me and following me.
Well, let's talk about that. Are people allowed to record you if they want to in a public place,
Objection.
which would be the building that you were at? Yes or
Objection.
no?
Objection calls for a legal conclusion. Mischaracterizes. Sorry.
Do you know if it's okay for someone to videotape you?
Objection calls for a legal conclusion.
Sustained.
When she videotaped you, or maybe she didn't, what proof do you have that she was videotaping you?
She had her phone went from here to right here. And she said, like, yo, Cardi B, like, I seen her. I turned around and I seen it. I seen it with my own eyes.
Did you ever see the actual video recording of you on her phone? Yes or no?
No.
Could it be possible that she was recording you? She was simply holding her phone in front of you. Is that possible?
Objection.
Yes or no?
Calls for speculation.
Sustained.
What proof do you have that you were being recorded by Imani Ellis on February 24, 2018, aside from what you just told us?
Objection.
Do you have any other proof?
Objection has to be answered.
Sustained.
Isn't it true that you usually wear your nails longer than what they are today?
Sometimes, most of the times, yes, and some of the times, no.
Most of the time, 90% of the time?
Lately, as in so far, I'll say about, in the past year, I'll say about 70.
70% of
Yes.
the time. And when you wear them long, would you agree that they're about 3 inches long?
No, not all the time, no.
2 inches or more?
So,
It really depends.
Why don't we focus? She said in the last year. I don't know how long she has her nails in the last year is relevant to anything.
And when you had them in 2018, you also wore them long at that time too, correct?
I wear them long, but it really depends on the inches.
How long were your nails on February 24th, 2018 when you were at the building speaking or arguing or whatever you were doing with Imani Ellis?
They were 1 inch. They were squared, and they had flat rhinestones.
Are rhinestones sharp?
No, not if they're flat. And they weren't 3D, they were flat.
With the nails you have on right now, do you think that these nails are sharper or the ones that you had on the date of the incident?
I believe that they were not sharp. That they were square. And sometimes, like, when it's acrylic and it's square, it's like a texture. And I always tell this to my nail tech, make sure that, like, you shape, like when you shape them, don't make them sharp on the side, or don't make them that sharp, because I don't want to.
You don't want to hurt anybody.
I don't want to hurt myself. I don't want to hurt nobody. I
Right.
just, you know what I'm saying? I
And
want to wash
in
my
the
hands.
past, when you had them sharp, you did hurt yourself, correct?
I never really hurt myself, but like just in case, I just be like, don't make them too pointy, because I just don't want them to be uncomfortable. Not pointy, but it's like a certain type of sharp that you just don't want.
And Um, if you wanted to scratch or cut Miss Imani Ellis's face,
Hmm.
you could have done it with both of your hands, either one or both, correct?
Objection calls for speculation.
Overruled.
I'm not saying you did that right now. I'm asking you a different question. Did you understand my question?
I mean, how would I fight? How would I fight somebody? I am mostly left-handed, so if I was to like do anything mostly, I'll do it mostly with the left hand. I'm really like,
You're good at fighting with your left hand, aren't you?
Objection mischaracterizes the testimony.
Are you good at fighting with your left hand?
Objection lacks foundation.
Sustained.
Do you have any experience fighting with any martial arts experience or other type of experience to defend yourself should something occur in your life?
Objection relevance.
Overruled.
not really, no.
So any type of fighting that you would be able to do, it would just be freestyle from your own knowledge of fighting, correct?
Objection argumentative.
Sustained.
If you wanted to fight with somebody, would you use your left hand, your right hand, or both?
Objection asked and answered.
Sustained. Why don't we move on, Councilman?
When you enter a building, such as this building or any building, oftentimes you will see that there's a security guard or a police officer or a sheriff guarding the building, correct? You saw that today here in the courthouse, didn't you?
Yes.
Bless you. I guess it's not. And on the date of the incident, the security guard, police officer, or person securing that building, in your mind, when you saw Imani Ellis was in fact Imani Ellis, in your mind, when you got off the elevator, Imani Ellis was in your mind, your state of mind was that she was a security guard, correct?
Objection.
I think she's answered.
Yes. Okay.
And was there any doubt in your mind that she was a security guard?
There was no doubt in my mind that she was a security guard. She had the security guard outfit on. That's why I was so confused that she was so aggressive and she's supposed to protect me, the patient.
I understand. If Imani Ellis had in fact told you to leave the building, would you have listened because she was a security guard?
Objection. This is complete hypothetical. Irrelevant. Lacks foundation.
Sustained.
Did Miss Imani Ellis tell you to leave the building at any point during your verbal or physical altercation on February 24th, 2018?
She told me, "You gonna leave my building. You gonna leave my building."
Okay. Are you aware that Imani Ellis was hired by the owner of that building and had the right to tell you to leave?
Objection. Calls for legal conclusion. Lacks foundation.
Sustained.
When Imani Ellis told you to leave the building, did you follow her commands?
Objection. Relevance. Lacks foundation.
You can answer.
No, she wasn't acting like a security guard.
But she was a security guard.
Objection. He's arguing.
Do security guard
So,
try to
we're not
attack
gonna- we're not
patients?
gonna argue. The objection is sustained. We're not going to argue with each other.
Did you believe in your mind that Imani Ellis was a police officer?
No.
If you thought she was a police officer, would you handle the situation the same way?
Objection. Incomplete hypothetical.
Sustained. Let's just focus on what did happen.
Now, when Imani Ellis spoke with you, when she
So while they were on their lunch break for the actual live stream that we were watching, I just was chiming in real quick. For Cardi B, this dates back to 2018. She was pregnant with her first child, her daughter Culture. She is a Afro-Latina from America, rapper. She started off as a TV personality. And if you think about it, there's a lot of HIPAA to be careful for with this case because she was at her obstetrician, her baby doctor, and that's when she had an altercation. She admits to that, a verbal altercation with this woman that's a security officer. Um, oh, I can't even see you. Hold on. All right. Thanks for subscribing, Adrian Todd, looks like. All right. Shout out to all the new subscribers and those that I can't see. I can only see the public ones. So she's there to get prenatal care for her and her unborn child. Someone sees her, recognizes her, and she felt she was doing too much about it. So then they got into this heated altercation. Whether they hit each other or not, I don't know. If I'll look at the chat, see what y'all think, because I thought it was just verbal. Cardi B is saying it was all completely verbal. That's it. That she feels that it's a money grab. She said this woman wants $24 million from her. It's a money grab. She never hit her. There was an actual doctor too that's being brought up that's saying he did see the woman that's saying she was hurt by Cardi. He gave her medical care, so they want to use that in this case too. So this took a long time. Like we're in right now. It's 2025. They're just now doing a 2018 assault accusation. That's ridiculous. So was that 7 years? Come on. So we're seeing a lot of this. We're seeing a lot of people take more out on celebrities than anyone else. If you really think about it, regardless of Cardi B's, how she talk and all that, she's still another person. And it's like if we get into it with somebody, it's like if you know they have money, are you just gonna sue them? Are you gonna keep it real? You might have started it, or just look at it like, hey, we're two human beings that had it out with each other. Move on. But and that anyone that knows Cardi got a mouth on her, and she don't really play too many games, so you should know that already. So that's basically what this case is all about. She wants to sue for these physical damages because this woman is saying it went beyond talking. She said Cardi B put her hands on her, and she has really long nails, so that's why they keep bringing up her nails. How long were your nails? How often you get your nails done? All right, do you think they could be a weapon? Blah 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 blah. I want to know where your nails clean. People with nails too long, I don't know. I second think about things like you gotta have your hygiene on the up and up, or I ain't messing with you. You ain't gotta cook for me. Cardi B don't cook anyway. She said she still don't know how to cook, girl. So that's what that's about with the nails, because they feel that could have caused the damage that this woman's saying happened. So we got that. What are y'all saying in there? Did the prosecutor turn eating Cardi as a threat? She got a mouth all right. Yeah. But as long as you could back it up. But what's interesting about Cardi is that she's someone that made it. Usually when you make it in anything in life, you feel successful. You feel that you have a different stature to appease to. Your conversation should be a little different. You can still talk, but you're just expected to show more professionalism in your life. And I don't know, do y'all think maybe we put too much on celebrities? They are just ordinary people. John Legend, they're all ordinary, but they live an extraordinary lifestyle because of what? Their money. But we all tend to look at them differently. So they have a lot more to lose. So that's another reason why I know a lot of us feel like, why would you be so mouthy? Why do you get into so many altercations still, Cardi? So she's a sensitive woman. When people get money, it seems like it solves everything, but you can't buy away your sensitivity. I'm someone that's sensitive too. But in this cold, cold world we live in, I have to acknowledge that I have to not let people hurt me the way I have in my past. My present speaks for itself, you know? With Cardi, you can say something on her page. If it really gets to her, it's going to get to her. She'll do a whole live stream on something you said. That's just how Cardi B is. She lets people get in her head. And I don't know if it'll ever stop. This has always been Cardi. Someone said in the chat, she finally got in trouble for something. Yeah, I've been saying some funny comments in there too. But yeah, I do have an open chat room here. Welcome. I'm Kiy NY7. I do have a mind of my own and strong thoughts at times, but I do invite yours. And I thank you and appreciate y'all coming through and supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. And I hope y'all do have a great day. We'll continue with some more to recap. And then as soon as they go back live, I'll most likely go ahead and go back live with y'all. I'm kind of getting hot. I didn't know it was gonna go this wild, but they are on the East Coast, so their time, right? The time on the Pacific time is 2:00. No, 1:00. It's around 1:18 p.m. over there, so they're on lunch. Okay.
She spoke with you directly outside the
Like
elevator.
I said, she was very entertaining, even when she takes
The area directly outside the elevators, correct?
I don't believe she got inside the elevator. I don't believe she did.
That's my question is, did whatever happened between the two of you, did it happen inside the elevator, at the point of entry, or outside the elevator?
Outside the elevator and down the hallway.
Fine. And when Miss Ellis was asked the same question, do you remember her saying that it happened outside of the elevator as well? Do you agree with her testimony?
It wasn't in front of the elevator anymore because I was walking and she was following me. So it wasn't in front of the elevator. It was outside the elevator because I already got off the elevator. I don't think she ever went inside the elevator because I felt her as soon as I'm walking. I felt her walking right behind me, and then she said something. She said, "Oh my God, Cardi B!" That's when I turned around, and she got the camera right here, like she recorded me, and I'm like, "Yo, why you recording me?" And she practically did admit that she recorded me because she said, "Oh my bad." So.
And when she said, "Oh wow, it's Cardi B," or whatever you just said right now, when she said that, was that offensive to you?
It wasn't offensive. I just kept power walking so I could avoid more contact, but she just kept following me.
Okay. And isn't it true that sometimes when you're walking around, different people will say, "Oh wow, it's Cardi B,"
Yeah,
because they get excited.
yeah.
And you had experienced that many times before you had that experience with Imani Ellis, correct?
Yes.
And the reason you didn't like it from her is because she was a security guard and you felt it was unprofessional for her to say that to you. Isn't that true?
When she first said it, I didn't tell her nothing. I kept walking.
Why couldn't she say it? Why?
I never said she couldn't.
Okay. And she said it to you.
She said it to me, and I kept walking.
What if she was not a security guard and she was just a random human and said, "Oh wow, it's Cardi B"? Would you have taken offense to that?
Objection.
No,
Argumentative.
You can answer.
I didn't even feel offended when she first said it. I felt offended when she kept following me. She recorded me, and you're supposed to be a security. You're not supposed to be recording patients going to any doctor, any.
But again,
That's what offended me. When she first said, "Oh my God, it's Cardi B," I just kept power walking. I didn't say nothing. I said something the second time she said it, and I turned around and I saw that she was recording me. And I'm like, "Yo, why are you recording me? Ain't you supposed to be security?" And she said, "Oh my bad." Then she kept following me, and now I'm getting annoyed. Like, it's like, you're the security
hold on a
guard
question.
of the building.
No question pending. No question.
All right, counsel, I think that might be.
LL Cool Bay.
Hey. So Cardi B made an appearance on the stand this week in court. She is being sued for an alleged incident that went down back in 2018. So this incident or this court stems from a lawsuit where Cardi was sued for assault, battery, and infliction of emotional distress because there is a security guard or former security guard who claims that she got into it with Cardi B in a outside of an OBGYN's office. Let's take a listen to Cardi on the stand explaining what happened.
I feel her behind me. Then I hear her talking like, "Oh my God, Cardi B is here." So I turn around and she had her phone, and I asked her, "Why are you following me?" She's like, "Cause I can." She's like getting closer and closer. Like now she's like in front of me, and that's when we started arguing. Now we're like chest to chest practically. I'm thinking to myself like, "This girl's big," and we arguing. cursing at each other. I did call her the B word. I did call her a like, get out of my face. I did say and she kept telling me like, you gonna leave my building. I'm like, I'm not leaving. And you telling me, how you telling me to leave? I came to see a doctor. I'm just trying to check my cat. That's when the receptionist came out. She started wilding out like, this hit me, this hit me. And I'm like, I did not hear that. I'm looking at her like, girl, I can't even hit you if I want to. You're bigger than me and you're pregnant.
Celebrity. This when celebrity sucks. Remember when Fat Joe used to say people would walk in?
So that was some of the recap from Cardi. And what was that, Breakfast Club? That kind of slipped on in there by mistake, but whatever. Ugh. All right, I prefer my black glasses, but okay. So that was that. What I was saying was hold on a second. Yeah, so that was part of basically the case and everything from yesterday. I was just mainly showing some of the highlights and things like that from yesterday when her very first time taking the stand. So there's just a lot. And then you heard her just say she's at the doctor, and then she realizes that the other person is a worker. So she's a security guard. So if you're a security guard, how are you following her around? Like, how are you doing that? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. So that's what they got going on with that. It's coming to a point where, again, regardless how you feel about the artist, she's still entitled to a certain level of privacy, right? So it's like her in a lot of ways her privacy was being violated. So to me, I'm seeing it like that's the first problem. That's the first problem right there. She's saying, okay, wait, why are you following me? Why are you, oh, my bad. And she said she was recording. So test. Then you showing her at the doctor's office as well. That's a total breach of this HIPAA. The HIPAA laws not only protect your paperwork and stuff, it protects you. Now, if it's a public place, she could record all she wants to. You can go in a public place and record all you want. Yes, you guys, I'll read your comments to you. I suggest you guys look into, there's a Tyrant Terminator on youtube.com. There's a lot of people that fight for our rights because we are entitled to be able to record wherever we go, as long as it's in a public setting. People will tell you that you can't. Yes, you can. They may prohibit it, but it doesn't violate the law. So yes, you can. So with that, if it was a private practice, she's already in trouble for doing that. On the other hand, she's saying that she was fired, so she should have been fired. Now it seems even more like a money grab because it's like you got fired, then you're like, oh no, I'm about to sue her though for $24 million. That's a lot. Now, does Cardi have a right to put her hands on a woman, even if she was recording her? No, they never allow you to put your hands on somebody unless you are an immediate threat. So the law doesn't change with that. But that's horrible. Like you got to put yourself in her shoes. Say you're not even a celebrity, because with celebrities, they know that we want to see them and, like, oh, look at, little Cardi. It depends on your level of maturity when you see someone that is a star, though, to really know how, how you're going to react towards seeing someone like that, someone of her stature. So I think that's a lot of what this has to do with. And that's just, it is what it is with that. I could show, there was something else I wanted to show. Whoa, she made everybody laugh too. As part of it, she made the whole courtroom laugh. It was kind of funny. Like, how would you feel if you were at the OBGYN, you're pregnant, you're not a celebrity or a celebrity, whichever, right? There's somebody following you around. You're going to be like, oh, okay, what do you record? Oh, I'm just recording everybody. Okay. But you notice they're just recording you. You're most likely going to react. You're most likely going to react to that. So that's where this whole thing started. You got to be careful, especially at a doctor's office, especially in a privacy setting when it comes to recording. So that's when things are real confrontational. It's the First Amendment. Yeah, you're not entitled to privacy in the public. Right. Who's that? Conquest Tador? Yeah, that's exactly what they say. You're not entitled to privacy in public. Exactly. And people that work in public will look you in the face and say, yeah, it's a public place, but no, you don't have a right to record me. Stop recording me right now. And you know what they do? They call the police immediately. Now the police know that people are on youtube.com and travel all around the country to make sure that everyone's rights are being upheld. They will not leave either. If you call the police, they're still not going to leave because they're going to tell the police that you got to know your job. And that's why they ask, what's your name and badge number? You got to know your job. I got my Ghostbusters poster up. I don't want it up right now. Everything New York. Yeah, so that's what I had to say about that. I'll show some more. I'll get off of here for a minute and show y'all some more.
So now I want to take you a little bit through the incident, bring you back in time. Do you agree that an incident occurred on February 24th, 2018?
It was a verbal incident. Verbal.
But it was an incident, correct?
Oh,
I don't feel like, I personally feel like if there's no physical touch, there is no incident. There was a verbal altercation. If you think that that's an incident, a verbal altercation, then it's an incident for you. But we both have different opinions. It's a verbal altercation. She didn't hit me, I didn't hit her. There was no touch. So to me, it wasn't no incident.
Was there spitting?
Absolutely not.
Did you spit on Miss Ellis?
No.
Did you call her the N-word?
No.
What is your background? Are you Hispanic, white, or something else?
My background?
Yes.
Well,
what's the objection?
Irrelevance.
Sustained.
Would you consider yourself African American?
I consider myself Afro-Caribbean.
Ma'am, you need to give your attorney a second to object. What's your
Oh,
objection?
sorry.
Sorry. Relevance, yeah.
Sustained.
Have you ever used the N-word with Miss Imani Ellis?
No.
Did you try to take a swing at her?
No.
When you say there was a verbal altercation,
Yes.
do you know what the word altercation means?
Like a conflict.
Like a fight, right?
It was like a verbal fight, but it didn't get physical at all.
When I'm talking to you now, are we having a verbal altercation?
We having, we'll say, a debate.
And we're debating about whether you assaulted and battered Miss Imani Ellis, correct?
Just no, well, I guess so, but I didn't touch her. She didn't touch me, so.
What proof do you have that you didn't touch her?
Objection, relevance, and also
That's argument sustained.
Do you have any videos of the incident?
No.
Did you try to get videos of the incident?
I asked if there was videos. Like I told my lawyers to check if there was videos, but there's no cameras. I guess there was no cameras.
And when did you ask for that? What year?
I feel like when I got sued, I was like, when I got sued, I was like, oh, I know I didn't touch her. Like it's like look for them cameras because they'll tell you I ain't touch her.
When you went to the building of 8920 Wilshire Boulevard, and you saw Imani Ellis there on the 5th floor, was she wearing her uniform as a security guard?
Yes. Okay.
You remember?
Again, you might want to just take a breath so your attorney can object.
Are you aware that my office is across the street?
No.
Okay. 8920 Wilshire Boulevard. You remember that number? You agree that that's the correct number? The address.
I remember that I went there, but I don't really remember the address and stuff like that. I don't.
If I show you the building with the number on it, would that help refresh your recollection?
Sure.
I don't have to really waste time if you don't want me to. When you were sitting here throughout the trial, you saw the 22
Yes.
pages I showed, correct?
Yes.
Was that the correct building?
Yes.
Oh, and you remember entering the building, going up some stairs, taking the lobby elevator, and going to the 5th floor, correct?
Yes.
And when you exited, you saw Imani Ellis right there in front of you.
Yes. No.
All right, like someone was saying too, anything past a public lobby, that's usually considered private, but you can still record. It has to say private or restricted. It has to say something like that. Okay. How do you drop your lipstick? So that's what that has to be. From day one is when the actual person that's suing Cardi was on. So I wanted to get to that part too, so y'all can see. If anyone did miss it, I want to at least show y'all what she was saying. And basically her side of the story. All right. At first they're on mute. Wait, who did they say?
Thank you for keeping an open mind and waiting until you hear both sides.
Blackwood's birthday.
Okay, thank you, counsel. All right, we're going to begin with the presentation of evidence at this point in time. Does plaintiff have a witness to call?
Yes, Your Honor. Plaintiff calls Imani Ellis to the stand as our first witness.
Thank you.
I would say that it's appropriate. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly state that the testimony you may give in the cause now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. May I please have you state and spell your first and last name for the record?
Yes, my name is Imani Ellis. Last name is Ellis.
Your first name, please.
Imani, yes, Emani.
Perfect. Thank you. You may take a seat. Please watch your step.
All right, go ahead, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Ms. Ellis. For the record, how old are you?
32.
Thanks for tuning in
And
and subscribing.
on the date
DJ
of February
King. I think I said your name right. Thanks for
2018,
subscribing.
what were you doing?
Appreciate it. We'll get back
I
to the
was at
case
work
later.
on duty as a security guard.
Where were you?
The address of the building was 8920 Wilshire Boulevard.
And for how long had you been working as a security guard as of 2018?
For 4 years.
And what did it take to become a licensed security guard?
You have to get fingerprinted and it's sent to the state of California for approval.
And do you have any criminal record?
No.
Could you become a security guard if you have a criminal record?
No.
Have you ever assaulted and battered anybody in your lifetime?
No.
Were you using your telephone to take photographs of the defendant when you saw her exit the elevator?
No.
So if you could just tell us in your own words, when you got to the 5th floor, you were doing your rounds, and you saw Cardi B, what did you say?
I said something along the lines of, that looks like Cardi B, or wow, that's Cardi B.
Were you talking to anybody at that time?
No.
You're sure?
Yes.
Were you entering the elevator?
I was, yes.
Did you actually go inside the elevator?
I did, yes.
And did Cardi B exit the elevator?
She did, yes.
Okay, and then what happened?
After she heard me say her name, she turned back around, and the first thing out of her mouth was, excuse my language, was, why the fuck are you telling people that you seen me? At this time, I tried to calm her down and assure her that I didn't tell anyone that I seen her, and she was extremely upset.
then, what did she tell you after that?
Then, excuse my language again, but she said, yes, the fuck you did, and then she put her finger in my face.
When she put her finger in your face, did she have long fingernails?
She did.
And approximately how long were her fingernails on the date when she put them in your face?
About 2 to 3 inches long.
When you have seen different pictures and videos of Cardi B, do you notice that she has long fingernails in those videos and photographs?
Yes.
When you saw her today, did you notice that her fingernails were very short?
Yes.
Does she usually wear them that short?
Objection. Speaking.
It's also lacks foundation, sustained.
Have you seen, well, strike that. For how long, were you a fan of Cardi B before this incident?
I was.
What kind of fan were you?
I enjoyed her music. I was interested in going to a concert. I didn't have any problem with her.
Did you ever go to see her in concert?
I had tickets to go to see her, but I never went after this incident.
And when were you supposed to go see her in concert?
I'm not sure of the date. It was sometime in 2018.
She not sure because she lying. You wasn't going to no Cardi B concert. They're on break, y'all, so I'm not really ruining anything. I got to give some commentary. I heard this yesterday, and she's making it seem like, well, I was a fan of hers. You know, I did like her. I had purchased tickets to go to her show, but then since this, I just didn't go to her show. Stop lying. If you brought tickets, you're going to go. So what did you do? Get a refund? Whenever y'all spend money on a ticket, don't you know the date? This was back in 2018 that this happened. Regardless, you would at least know the month, the season, something, right? She was not going to her concert. So I would have pushed that more. Anything someone says and you got to get them, you want to catch them on anything, especially things that they can't prove most likely in court, and you want to use it against them. She is tampering into Cardi B's behaviors, and this is her personality. And I was just hurt. Nah, man, I don't think it went down like that. You lying. You was not going to her show. Stop fronting. And I would have got her on that because I would like she lying. She wouldn't have been able to prove it. You supposed to be working. You supposed to be on your post somewhere or snacking. That's what they do a lot, right? Sit around snacking, busting out them uniforms. Let's go.
And you're very close with your grandmother, Diane Schmidt, is that correct?
Correct.
How old is your grandmother?
She's 79.
Does she have information about this incident?
Objection.
Assistant.
Expectation.
Assistant.
Did you show your grandmother the scar on your left cheek after February 24th of 2018?
Overruled.
Could you repeat the question, please?
Did you show the cut on your left cheek after February 24th of 2018 to your grandmother, Diane Schmidt?
Yes.
And what year were you born?
1992.
And how many brothers and sisters do you have?
I'm the oldest of 5.
And your grandmother has seen you regularly from birth up to the present time?
Yes.
Shout out to the people that got some sense in the chat. I see we got a new troll in here. Who sound dumb? You sound dumb because you're not even saying what you're talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you weren't here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you the one that's dumb. I clearly said what I was talking about. Please, I don't got time for no trolls either. I don't need y'all. Go do your hair. Go brush that fur down. You worried about other people, the wrong things. Go brush that fur down somewhere. What else we got in here? Bill, somebody, if you gay, you gay, whatever. What you talking? Now you talking about Offset? You guys are weird. All right. Thank you for subscribing. Looks like David Patillo. Is it Junior? Some of it's kind of hard to see. We're in mobile mode. All right, we're gonna finish. But yeah, if you want the smoke, you can get it, but you ain't gonna like get me too excited because I'm already a little hot. Because the equipment that I be using sometimes it gives off a little bit of heat. Any electronics do that, but yeah, I ain't gonna get me uptight. People be having a bad day, and then they like to come in other people's chat rooms and then try to take it out on people in the chat room and take it out on the host as if someone's forcing them to even come in here. You come in here on free will. It's a free open chat room. I just don't want a whole lot of cussing. I don't need all that. I like when people can use their words. Let's be big people. Let's use big people words. Let's grow our minds. We should be able to debate and everything in a decent way. You know what I'm saying? Because if not, we can't sit back and talk about the people we see on TV. We can't sit back and talk about Cardi. We can't talk about blood gangs. You can't talk about nobody else because y'all have the same behaviors. But a lot of y'all probably say stuff and can't back it up. That's the only difference. So keep it real with yourselves. You all are like street people. Deep down inside, you are like street people. Just some of us are more hood than y'all, and we'll pull your card. That's the difference, especially if you're from NY. Let's go. Where is it at? Here we go.
And,
Got some new tabs open.
what about your mother? Did you live with your mother up
Y'all
until a
be
certain
bugging
point?
for no reason.
Until the age 19.
Did you sustain any, well, straight. Let me take you a little bit back to the incident. So, when you were at the building and Cardi B exited the elevator on February 24th, 2018, what were the words that she used that were so hurtful?
She used a lot of words, and again, excuse my language, but she was like, fuck you, you fat ass bitch, that's why I'm gonna beat your ass, I'm gonna get you fired, nigga this, nigga that, bitch ass nigga, that's why you do security, ah, that's why you do security, ah. She was sticking her tongue out, she was flailing her arms up and down, she was jumping up and down, body shaming me, I mean, racial slurs, just a lot.
I gotta chime in on that. I can't see Cardi using a racial slur. Why would we use a racial slur when we are that, when we are of that descent? Like, you don't really see, you can see sometimes Dominicans because certain Dominicans separate themselves from being black, which they are, and we can always prove it, but we don't got to claim the ones that don't want to be claimed. We ain't got to claim y'all either. You're our sons and daughters. Someone mentioned Afro-Caribbean and where they were dropped off at, whatever, but she's always represented as being a black woman. I rocks with Cardi. I watch her. All right. So she's always said that. She is of a descent where I believe, I gotta look it up again. I think it's her mom that's Dominican. Her father is Afro, like, you know, African, but also Dominican. So she identifies as a black woman, what she is. But yes, she speaks Spanish and stuff, but we have a multicultural thing going on. That's nothing new. Nothing new. You know, so I'd like for people to know what they are. Half the people in my chat right now, it's over 150 of y'all. I bet half of y'all, probably only half of y'all know what you really are. Know your genealogy. And what I don't like, and what our higher power, the universe, whatever you believe in, don't like, is when you want to pick and choose what you are when it's convenient for you. That's going to come back to you. So don't do that. The other thing she said was, she fat shamed me. She was like, you fat bitch. I could hear Cardi saying that. It's not called shaming. If you fat, you fat. I say this all the time. If you skinny, you skinny. You know what I'm saying? It's like deep down, people are ashamed. So when you say what they look like, what they are physically, not looks, their physicalness, like their size, their shape, their weight, people get mad. Just like some may leave from here. I don't care. You ain't going to lose weight by losing what I said. But you best stay healthy, because when the time does come, you might have to physically fight someone. Altercations are erupting all over the place, y'all. People will be trampling all over you if you're too overweight and stuff. Like security guards, a lot of them do be type big. But if they got to chase somebody and run, they ain't going to be able to do it. You may say, well, the cops are really supposed to chase them. Yeah, and it depends on how far the situation has escalated. There's no such thing as fat shaming. If you fat, your ass is fat. Girl.
And did she spit on you?
She did.
Did
Girl.
the spit actually land on your
Girl.
body?
It did.
All right, I'm done being silly. Thanks, y'all.
Why did you exit the elevator to speak with her after she said what she said?
I wanted to clarify the misunderstanding.
Did you also want her to leave because she was causing a disturbance?
At that time, she was causing a disturbance. She was yelling and screaming, and I did want her to leave.
And as a security guard, were you working there as an extension of the owner to be able to make that kind of call, whether somebody should be told to leave because they're causing a disturbance?
Objection, leading Life Foundation calls for legal witnesses.
Could you repeat the question, please?
I'm going to ask you a different question. Did the landlord hire you as a security guard to protect its building?
Yes.
Life Foundation.
Overruled.
And did you do that?
Yes.
For how long?
For about 4 years.
During those 4 years, did you ever have a problem with anybody else?
Never.
Not one time.
Not as far as I can remember, no. Not a perfect employee, but a good employee.
Did the defendant take a swing at you?
She did.
When she took a swing at you, it didn't hit your body, correct?
No.
Did the defendant use her fingernails to cut your face?
She did.
As a result of the cut to your face, did you have to see 2 different plastic surgeons?
Yes,
Did you undergo plastic surgery?
I did.
Your Honor, if I may show exhibit number 7.
What's it's the photograph? He never disclosed it.
22 photographs that we discussed earlier.
I'm going to let him show the photographs.
For the record.
What's that?
I'm sorry, for the record, read that.
Overruled. Can you just identify it by number?
Yes,
Each
sir.
one?
Would it be okay to get one of those books? Your Honor, I would like to show exhibit 7-001.
Understanding you're objecting to their admission, do you want them to lay foundation, or are we going to stipulate foundation?
Well, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
You want
I
to
thought you were
stipulate?
asking him if he wanted to lay a foundation.
Do you want them to lay a foundation, or you stipulate to it?
No, we don't stipulate.
Okay. Then why don't you show the photograph to your client first to identify what it is?
Yes, Your Honor. If you can look into that notebook on your right, there'll be a number 7. (7-009). These are the elevators that guests and visitors of the building would take to get upstairs. Is that correct?
Yes.
And on the date of the incident, do you remember if you took the elevator to get to the 5th floor, or maybe took the stairs? Do you remember?
I'm not sure.
All right, if I can take, we're going to skip. We'll just go through it very fast. 7-010. Is this a photograph of the elevator which Cardi B got out of on February 24, 2018?
Yes.
And that's the elevator that you entered, correct?
Yes.
It's a relatively small elevator, isn't it?
Yes.
And 7-011. Is that a photograph of the elevator area where the incident took place that we took recently?
Yes.
And obviously on the day of the incident, you were there. It was a Saturday, correct?
Yes.
Was it this way with garbage all around, or not?
Not at that time, no.
7012 and 7013 and 7014 and 7015 are photographs of the hallway leading up to the elevator bay, correct?
Yes.
And did Miss Cardi B walk down the hallway after she spoke with you and came back, or did everything happen right at the elevator bay?
She did. She came out and looked around, and then when she heard what I said, she turned back around to approach me.
Okay, if we could go to 7-021. This is where the entire incident took place, correct?
Yes.
And on the date of the incident, I'll start that. After the incident happened, were you intending to sue?
No.
Is that why you didn't take photographs? You're saying?
Objection, lady.
Assistant.
Why didn't you take photographs of the cut to your face or any injury you sustained after the assault and battery?
Objection, lacks foundation, argument.
Can you read the question, sir?
Why did you not take photographs of the scar after the incident?
I was upset. I was a lot going on. I'm not sure.
And you were not intending to sue, is that correct?
No.
Were you intending to sue Cardi B at that moment when the incident occurred?
No, I was not.
She wasn't intending to sue, so why did she end up suing? Would be my next question. I think that's her attorney. Took no photos of her
In addition
injuries.
to being a security guard, did you
Wasn't gonna
have
sue. Come on.
interest in criminal justice?
Yes.
What were the classes that you took or were going to take?
I got my bachelor's degree in criminal justice administration.
And after this incident, did you continue in that path?
I chose a different career field.
What is your current career at this time?
I work in social services.
What do you do? Who do you work with?
I work with low-income families to access resources.
Did Miss Cardi B, after this incident, post different things about you to her fans?
She did.
In how many different instances?
Probably about 2.
And did you do the same thing back to her?
Never.
After the incident, did you seek medical treatment from a psychologist, Nicole McKenzie?
Yes.
And that was approximately 2 months after the incident?
Correct.
What did Dr. McKenzie do for you?
She provided therapy, counseling therapy.
Was it helpful?
I believe it was at the time.
Before the incident, did you ever have any type of psychological or psychiatric medical treatment?
Can I answer? Okay. Something happened with my sister and a neighbor. My family was given therapy on behalf of that. That was all I can recall.
And how long ago was that before the incident?
Over 10, 15 years ago before the incident.
So approximately what year was that?
I'm not sure.
And was there a gap between the completion of Mullican agreed to treat you on a lien basis?
He did.
And when you got medical treatment on a lien basis, is it your understanding that regardless of the outcome of the case, you still owe Dr. Mullican the fees for the treatment that he did? Is that your understanding?
Yes.
Did you also see a pain management doctor for one visit?
I did.
Did you also treat with different psychologists, including Alex Avila and other psychologists on October 8th, 22 through July 2nd of 23?
Objection. It's a violation of the order granting the motion in limine.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Did you seek treatment from psychologists, including Alex Avila and other psychologists from October 8th, 22 through July 2nd of 23?
Same objection.
Overruled.
Correct, yes.
And for that psychological treatment, did Dr. Avila's office agree to treat you on a lien basis?
They did, yes.
For Nicole McKenzie, did you, were the medical bills totaling $5,087 from her office for medical treatment that you received related to this incident?
Objection. Leaning. Flags Foundation.
Sustained.
Is it your understanding that your total medical bills related to this incident are $36,000?
You need to start with the foundation. You need to establish what she knows and how she knows it.
And you're- Did you receive medical bills at your home from these different medical providers?
I'm not sure.
Did some of the medical providers send you bills to your home?
I'm sure, yes.
Did some of the medical providers that I mentioned advise you of the amounts that they were charging you for their medical treatment?
Yes.
Was the medical treatment that you received from these medical providers beneficial to you?
It was.
Do you still suffer from psychological issues related to this incident?
Objection.
Sustained.
I do, yes.
The objection was sustained.
I'm sorry.
Sustained, you don't answer.
The judge says sustained, then you don't answer.
I apologize.
How often, since this incident, February 24th of 2018, how often do you see your grandmother, Diane Schmidt?
Objection. Otherwise.
Overruled.
Once a month
And where does she live?
in Las Vegas.
And she's here today to testify on your behalf?
She is.
Do you know how old your grandmother is?
79.
Do you have respect for authority?
Objection.
Yes.
Sustained.
Where does your grandmother live?
Las Vegas.
Do you ever visit your grandmother in Las Vegas?
Yes.
And for what reason did you visit Las Vegas to visit your grandmother?
To check on her. She's a senior.
Do you take any medication or drugs?
No.
Do you drink alcohol regularly?
No.
Can you tell us a little bit about what your expectations are when you worked security at that building on February 24th of 2018?
Are you asking me what were my duties today?
What were your expectations? What was your expectation from visitors or guests who were coming to that building on that day?
Assisting.
When you worked security on February 24th of 2018, did the owner hire you to do security for them?
Yes.
And why did they hire you?
Objection, caution, speculation, lack of foundation.
Assisting.
And after this incident, you decided to discontinue working as a security guard. We're not blaming it on the incident, but we're saying that, I want to be clear that after this incident, you have decided that you're no longer going to work as a security guard, correct?
Yes.
And before the incident happened, did you have that intention, or did that intention come about after the incident occurred?
Objection, compound.
It came after the incident. I had plans of promoting, moving up, definitely staying at that job.
Did you
Okay, so she said the security guard said she had planned to leave. She wanted to switch positions, right? She didn't want that job anymore, she claims. So how did she get fired? Like, we need dates. Then what do you mean? Are you trying to make it seem like you was leaving anyway, or that has something to do with you being fired? Like, you got fired, my girl. Girl.
Well, strike that. Did you ever want to become a police officer?
I did.
Do you still want to become a police officer?
No.
And why is that?
I was deeply traumatized about what happened.
Can you tell me a little bit more about your trauma that you suffered from this incident?
Yes. I deal with anxiety, deal with depression. I have post-traumatic stress. I have a scar on my face. I deal with insomnia, things like that.
Do you believe that the incident, well, strike that. Are you single at this time?
I am.
Were you single at the time of the incident?
I'm not sure.
Do you believe that this incident has an effect on your future ability to have a partner?
Objection, lacks foundation, calls for expert testimony.
Assisting.
Do you expect Cardi B to pay for your medical bills?
Objection, irrelevant.
Assisting. So,
Aside from calling you the N-word, spitting at you, taking a swing at you, cutting your face with her fingernails, is there anything else that she did on February 24th, 2018 to you?
I mean, the whole incident was super traumatizing for me. She did a lot that day.
Did she ever apologize for what she did?
Never.
Would you want her to apologize?
Of course.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
all right, cross examine.
cross-examination time.
And it's okay, I'll use the podium. With a slight adjustment. Good afternoon, Ms. Ellis. Your lawyer showed you photos of the building that you were working on at as a security guard in February 2018. Do you know the name of the building?
I don't know the name.
Was it Beverly Hills Medical Center?
It could have been, yes.
Yeah, it was a medical facility, right?
Yes.
And the incident that you claim happened that day happened at approximately 1:30 p.m.?
Approximately, yes.
And you knew at the time, when you saw Cardi B, that she was going to a medical appointment, correct?
I didn't know where she was going, but she was at the building.
And you understood that she was going to a medical appointment, right?
She was going to an appointment, yes.
Yes, I see some people are still asking. This case is all the way from 2018. This was while Cardi B, rapper Cardi B, was in TV personality. Cardi B was pregnant with her first child, her daughter Culture, and they're just now getting to this assault on the security officer that she had a big altercation with while she was going to see her obstetrician while she was pregnant. So she was coming to get her prenatal care, and apparently it seems to me her rights were violated. It's not just a recording, because I don't know if it was a public library or private, doctor's office library, because we all know that there's a lot of private doctors. Now, I'm gonna have to look into that, because lobby means lobby, but if the entire area is considered private, as soon as you walk in, you have a right to that too, wouldn't you? But she has like barely any proof. She didn't take any photos of herself, but she says she was seen by a doctor, which she just mentioned. And now she's talking about why she's suing her for how much and blah, blah, blah. But she was fired from her job as a security guard in the meantime. And she says she works with families now, helping them get to their resources and whatnot. It's like, all right, you best not tell people business and things like that, because people don't really like you working with confidentiality with families, etc. Just like how she was a security guard at that GYN place or in that building. If you are not someone that, you know, if you lack in confidentiality, that's where you run into a problem, a big problem. All right, we'll finish this. So the live footage is what I've been live streaming throughout the day today too, but they are on lunch break still. They should be coming back shortly because it's been over an hour.
It's a medical building, right?
Yes.
And your deposition was taken, and you said that you testified under oath in your deposition. Let me ask, do you remember your deposition was taken in this action?
Yes.
Do you remember taking an oath at the deposition to tell the truth?
Yes.
And that under the same penalties of perjury that apply in
Kiy
this courtroom,
NY7,
for
thanks for
example,
coming.
correct?
Yes.
And you testified that you understood when you saw Cardi B that she was going to a medical appointment, right?
Yes.
Now, after this incident, you talked to your supervisor at Allied, right?
Yes.
And she told you to submit a incident report, correct?
Yes.
And you emailed an incident report to your supervisor 2 days later, right?
I don't know about 2 days, but I sent it to her, yes.
Yes. And it was by email.
I'm not sure how she received it.
Your Honor, if we may, I'd like to show the witness the incident report that she did not produce in discovery.
To refresh your recollection.
I would object to that based on authenticity. It's not her document.
I think we've made it to refresh my recollection. It's over.
This is a document that we got from Allied pursuant to a trial subpoena. And it's not in the book, so let me provide a copy. Should I hand it to the clerk?
You can push.
I'm sorry? Oh, thank you, Ron. Just to make sure. There you go. Does that refresh your memory that you sent an email to your supervisor on February 26, 2018?
Okay.
Do you recall that now?
I don't, but I'm looking at what you gave me.
And that's your email address, right?
Yes.
And it's addressed to your supervisor, Jasmine?
Yes.
And it's dated February 24, 2018? No, I apologize. It's dated February 26, 2018, and the subject is 224-18 incident report. You see that?
Okay. I see it, yes.
Yes. Okay. Now, before we talk more about that incident report, do you remember receiving in this case discovery requests that you had to verify under oath, where people asked you questions and about documents?
I'm not sure.
Well, let's see if we can refresh your recollection. With what's this? Client's response.
Which one is it?
If I may, Your Honor, to explain to counsel that it's plaintiff's response and objection to defendant Cardi B's demand for production of documents, set 2. And may I approach?
Sure.
Thank you. If you look through the last 2 pages, is that a verification by you, signed by you, under oath, that the statements in the response, are true and correct?
All right, looks like we back on, so I'm gonna go right to the live report that's going on live
Is that
right
your
now.
signature on
Already
the
might
last
be
page?
back on stage.
And you verified
Stand on
that
stage.
you signed?
Well, he does my investigations at this time, and he would be testifying that this photograph was taken on February 18th of 2018. That game that she's speaking of, the All-Star game, was on February 18th of 2018. It's a whole week before. So I would like to recall the plaintiff, I'd like to call him somebody to clarify this issue. That's all I'm asking.
Your Honor, may I? May I, Your Honor? That photograph is provided to us by Atlantic Records. We have someone who can attest to that, Justin Grant.
That's
When you
fine.
when you search up that photo, you find it was from February 18th, 2024. That was All-Star Weekend in 2024. And there are people that have reposted it and incorrectly put 2018. So what the plaintiff's counsel is saying is not accurate. It was 2024.
Okay.
Yeah, I had something.
I mean, 2018. You know what I'm saying? February 18th, 2018.
I will stipulate that the date is February 18th of 2018. The problem with that testimony, or the problem with that representation from counsel is this incident happened 6 days later.
Right, and that was my point of using it. She
So-
testified
so
she
hold
has
on,
the same
hold on.
Amazon.
No, Your Honor, she
So-
testified that she got this picture taken on the same day. She testified under oath that at 6 p.m. on February 24, 2018, this picture was taken. That's false. That is a false statement. Her own attorney admits February
No.
18th of 2018 is the date of this photograph.
Okay. I'm not going to have the jury waiting for this. We're ready to call the next defense witness.
There's
Yes,
one
sir.
other issue, Your Honor.
What
Sorry.
is that?
I did have a conversation with the witnesses that I have. They are unable to appear Tuesday morning. It's not possible.
Okay, then you're not going to call him.
I understand that that's the court ruling, but I just want to put on the record as soon as I learned that
Okay.
I cannot produce them Tuesday morning.
So it sounds like they're having a back and forth too. Ronald Jones, you're number 1 in the chat. Shout out to the other one too. Somebody was number 1 in the chat. You guys are chatting the most. That's good. They got the new thing now that tracks it. Someone said that I sound just as stupid as she does. I never sound stupid, but I've never ever heard Cardi ever say that she wasn't black. So I don't know. I've heard her say I'm a Dominican, which she is Dominican, but she's always identified as black, y'all. Tell me where you seen it at. I've never seen that. I don't think so. So it looks like right now live, they're having a lot of back and forth between the attorneys, the prosecutor and the defense attorney. So what they've done is put us on mute. And if you guys follow cases, they'll do that when there's things that they don't want the public to necessarily hear. So as soon as they're ready to get back on, we'll have more footage live. This is day 3, Wednesday, August 27th, right? Okay. So everything's in real time. There's no need to ask. Anything I showed prior was recaps because they were on lunch break. So, just to show us what happened before, because some of it I missed too. And if anybody missed anything, then it's right there. I think they're off mute, so I'll take them off mute too. Okay. They were discussing that they weren't able to provide photos of the injury, and I was trying to hear what else they were saying. They were talking real low. So. On one hand, this case is kind of lame because it does feel like it's a money grab. But then on the other hand,
I'm sorry, around the other way?
Yes, please.
there's a lot of money at stake. She's suing her for $24 million. And, there's privacy laws. There's other things that do go in with this. Loss of employment, celebrity status, all that stuff. So we'll get back to it now. I think they're ready now.
Yes.
Thank you. May I please have you state and spell your first and last name for the record?
James, James, Rosenberg.
I'm not sure if in 2024 I have to look at it.
Perfect. Thank you. You may take a seat. Please watch your step.
Thank you.
I've been on for a minute, 2.5 hours. Thanks for riding out.
Please
Kiy
introduce
NY7,
yourself for the
appreciate
judge.
y'all.
My name's Dr. James Rosenberg. I'm a licensed medical doctor in California. I specialize in psychiatry.
Can you please outline your professional education for us?
Yes, I studied philosophy and molecular biology at UC Berkeley. I then did a year of surgery research at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, including coronary laser angioplasty research. I attended medical school for 4 years at UCLA. I then did an internship in primarily specialties of surgery and cancer medicine, including neurosurgery and cardiothoracic surgery. I then did a 3-year residency at the UCLA Neuropsychiatric Institute in psychiatry, and I did a fellowship in forensic psychiatry at Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland with a Dr. Philip Resnick.
Okay, and what licenses and board certifications do you hold?
So my license is to practice medicine in the state of California. I have a lifetime board certification in psychiatry. In 1996, I got my second board certification in forensic psychiatry, a subspecialty of psychiatry involving the legal system. That's every 10 years. I renewed it for another 10 years until 2016. And then due to a very bad experience I had in a criminal case, my wife and I decided I wouldn't renew it again and I would stop doing criminal work.
Okay, can you please briefly summarize your professional experience as a psychiatrist?
Yes, so after I completed my training and came back to my fellowship, I became assistant director of psychiatry at the West Los Angeles VA Medical Center and ran the locked psychiatric intensive care unit at UCLA Teaching Service and was there for a few years. I was a member of the UCLA Medical School faculty for 16 years. After I left the VA, because my forensic consultation practice started to get busy, I always continued to see patients at least one day a week unrelated to any legal matter. Most recently, it was 22 years at a nonprofit community mental health clinic in Van Nuys, providing psychiatric evaluation and treatment of homeless and low-income individuals. My forensic psychiatry practice, the first half of my career was primarily criminal cases, approximately 200 murders, mass murder, serial criminals, and other types of major crimes. The second half has been primarily civil litigation matters of brain injuries, catastrophic physical injuries with PTSD claims, and employment-related matters. I've consulted over the years to the United States Attorney in Washington, D.C. on organized crime in the Eastern District of New York, for the Medical Board, the Attorney General, and also for 8 years I was a consultant to the show Law & Order Special Victims Unit.
Thank you. Your Honor, I would like to show Exhibit 220 to the witness. Dr. Rosenberg, it's Exhibit 220 in the blue binder.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm at 220.
Are you familiar with this document?
Yes, this looks like the first page of my resume or curriculum vitae.
And can you please flip through it and let me know if that's a true, correct copy of your CV?
Yes, this is the most current version, last updated February 2023.
Thank you. Your Honor, defendant moves to admit Exhibit 220 in evidence.
Your Honor, I object to that at this point. Based on what? Foundation. Over.
Have you been retained as an expert on behalf of the defendant Cardi B in this case?
That's my understanding.
And what is it that you were asked to do?
I was asked to conduct a psychiatric evaluation of Ms. Ellis's emotional injury claims related to the incident on February 24th, 2018.
Have you served as a retained expert in previous cases?
Yes, both criminal and civil matters, probably over my career, maybe 1,500 times.
Experts are paid for their time. What is your rate that you charge for the time that you spent working on this case?
So I charge, my base rate is $550 an hour, which is for reviewing records, my face-to-face examination of Ms. Ellis, scoring the psychological testing, and writing a report. My rate for testimony in deposition, which was taken in this case, or trial like today, is $800 an hour, and there's a 4-hour blocks.
Does your fee depend in any way on whether your opinion is favorable to Cardi B?
No, that's never been the case. And for example, I've never worked on a lien, which does involve that type of interest from my non-attorney standpoint.
Do you recall approximately how long you've been engaged on this matter?
I believe it's been since early 2023.
Okay, and how much have you charged in this matter over those 2.5 roughly years?
Well, for reviewing the records, which I've had to re-review, and additional records, examination, the psych testing, my report, preparing for deposition with plaintiff's counsel, I think I've thus far charged something a little over $30,000.
Okay. And I believe you testified that you conducted a psychiatric evaluation of the plaintiff as part of your duties in this case. Is that correct?
Yes, so the psychiatric evaluation is, to me, a broader term that consists of the triad of reviewing records, conducting a face-to-face examination, and scoring and utilizing the psychological testing that was administered during that examination. So it's a matter of integrating and correlating and weighing the information from those three sources.
And can you please, in just a little more detail, explain what happened during that evaluation in this case?
Certainly. So I believe it was in July, maybe around July 21st, 2023. So it took about, I would say, roughly 6 hours. The entire examination was audio recorded. And the first half of the examination was the administration of the psychological testing, where using gold standard psychological tests, I provided them to Ms. Ellis. I was there with her the entire time. and made sure she understood the instructions, and then she filled out the answering sheets, circles or bubble in answer sheets, as she went along. The second half of the day was the interview, and in accordance with generally it was either the MMPI 3 or the MMPI 2 current ultimate gold standard tests. You have to pass that test. For example, to fly a passenger jet, to be in the Secret Service, you have to pass that, or the other test I gave. For example, to and then have her read the formal instructions at the beginning of the test booklet and tell me that she understands them. And then it's a matter of answering about 335 questions where you bubble in on a separate answer sheet, true or false, for those questions. And then I take the results of that and I use the test publisher's official scoring software, which I have on a laptop computer, input those answers, and then generate a statistical report based upon her answers that provides a variety of scales and scores, and then narrative text, meaning it provides a text description of what individuals like with these scores tend to look like, although it doesn't talk specifically about Ms. Ellis. And you would never want to make an opinion about somebody based on just the test. Again, it's a matter of correlating them with your overall evaluation, with the interview and the record review.
Thank you. Your Honor, I'd like to show Trial Exhibit 229 to the witness.
Objection, hearsay.
You don't want to publish it at this point?
Not at this point.
Oh, okay, I thought I had no objection to showing it. Just publish it.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Can you please turn in the blue binder to Exhibit 229?
Okay, I'm at 229. Thank you.
Thank you. Are you familiar with this document?
Yes. So this is the report of the MMPI-2 psychological test that I administered to Ms. Ellis on July 21st, 2023, and which I provided along with other documents to opposing counsel before my deposition.
And does this document refresh your recollection as to which version of the MMPI-2 test you conducted in Ms. Ellis's case?
Yes, I gave the MMPI-2. That and the MMPI-3 are the most recent and, again, the gold standard tests worldwide in this kind of a context.
Thank you. And that report that you have in front of you, did you create that document yourself?
Well, I created it in the sense that I inputted her answers into the test publisher software on my laptop. I then double-checked the answer through a process that's provided by the software. And then I had the software generate this report, again using statistical algorithm that is intrinsic to the software. I don't personally score any of the scales I don't personally write out any of the text interpretation that's in it. My job is then, how do I use that information once it's available in an overall assessment?
And is it fair to say that you used this report as an analytical tool in reaching your conclusions with respect to Ms. Ellis?
Yes, again, considering all the information available to me from the records, the exam, the testing, I utilized inductive medical reasoning, a best fit logical reasoning, the same reasoning I would use if I was in an emergency room, if I was a surgeon or I was a radiologist.
Do you use this software and the reports that are generated from it regularly in your psychological evaluations?
Yes, I've used these tests several hundreds of times. I have the highest user rating qualification from both test publishers.
Okay, and do you recall when this particular report was generated?
My best recollection is I generated it, shortly after the examination had been completed, but I just apologize, I don't recall a specific date.
Okay, thank you. Defendant moves to admit Exhibit 229 into evidence.
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
Your Honor, may I publish page 2 of Exhibit 229?
All right.
All right, and Dr. Rosenberg, you can see at the top there, I suppose you could look at the binder as well.
If you turn your screen on, the top left button on the top left side, it should be on there.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's much better.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, yes, sir, I can see it now. I wasn't able to see that.
Thank you. If you look at the top of the page, it says validity scales. Can you please explain what that means?
Yes, so these are the most important scales of their type for this and the MMPI-3 of any test in the world, any psychological test. The validity scales look at how somebody is approaching the test. The first two scales, VRIN and TRIN, variable and true response indicator, look at whether somebody understood the test questions and responded to them in a consistent fashion. So those first have to be valid before you can go on to interpret the rest of the test. The remainder of the validity scales, the vast majority of them, look at their F scales because they look at infrequent responses. These scales become more and more elevated if an individual endorses or answers questions endorsing symptoms that are infrequent, meaning that even somebody who actually had that mental disorder would not actually endorse them. And these scales are scored against a large statistical population, cross-section population of the United States. And then the last couple scales, the L scale, looks at a different type of potential manipulation, portraying yourself in an overly positive or virtuous light. And then the last one is just a correction to that.
Thank you. And what do Ms. Ellis's test results in this case show you? I'm sorry, specifically with respect to the validity scales.
Yeah, so looking at these, it's more fun to do it from memory, but looking at these scales, they demonstrate that when Ms. Ellis took this test, that she generated scale elevations in the range that only reasonably could be interpreted as either severe symptom exaggeration or symptom fabrication. From a psychiatric standpoint, obviously I'm not giving a factual opinion. So if we look at F, the third one over with a T-score of 83, so these are compared against a normal bell curve of statistical scores where a T-score of 50 is in the middle. And every time you go out 10, you're going out another standard deviation. So at a T-score of 83, the F scale that looks at things like anxiety, depression, PTSD, she generated a score more than 3 standard deviations above the norm. And statistically, only 48 people out of 100,000 would actually generate that score, even if they really had the condition. If we then look at the other scales thereafter, the FS scale, S is for somatic, meaning physical symptoms. the FBS, which is the fake bad scale or symptom validity scale, and the RBS scale, those look at physical health symptoms and they look at cognitive symptoms like attention, concentration, primarily if you're evaluating a brain injury claim. And so on those scales, with the understanding that, as I'll discuss, Ms. Ellis has not sought out any type of, from my review of the Kaiser records and my audio recorded interview, any type of physical health problem whatsoever, and certainly hasn't had a brain injury. These elevations are extraordinarily high. The FBS, or fake bad scale elevation, of a T-score of 102 at 5 standard deviations above the norm, only 2 individuals out of 1 billion would actually have that score if he or she had the actual disorder. So these are extremely high. They're far beyond the range of somebody who could just be distressed and is trying to emphasize how distressed she is, or so-called cry for help. These are in the range of elevation that no individual, even with the conditions, would reasonably have at that statistical elevation, putting aside that she doesn't even claim those types of symptoms in the first place.
Thank you. And what types of symptoms would that be?
So for the FS to have an elevation on F sub S, which is somatic or physical, especially a significant elevation, you would have to have a serious physical health condition. Let's say you have cancer, or you recently had a heart attack, or you're in heart failure, or you have uncontrolled diabetes, things like that. FBS is particularly sensitive to symptom fabrication or exaggeration in individuals who've had traumatic brain injuries. But again, even if you had a severe disabling traumatic brain injury and you were in a rehabilitation facility, your elevation would be maybe a T-score of 70, 75. Again, at 102, where it's 2 people in a billion, no individual who even had a brain injury would reasonably endorse that score. Where again, they get elevated the more and more you endorse symptoms that no person who actually has the condition would actually report those symptoms. And then RBS is cognitive. So again, it looks at things like attention, memory, and concentration. And again, hers is elevated in the range of 4 standard deviations. So, it would be well over 100 million to 1 that she would actually have those symptoms.
Thank you. Can you please turn to page 10 of the report?
Of this psych testing report?
Yes. Towards the bottom, you see is written diagnostic considerations.
Yes.
Can you please explain what that section is saying here?
Yeah, so again, the report doesn't talk about Ms. Ellis specifically. It talks about, at a statistical level, individuals who have these scales and scores tend to look like this. And the diagnoses that are suggested are rank ordered. They're in the priority of how likely they are. And so the first diagnosis listed is malingering of somatic and or cognitive symptoms, primarily generated by the elevation of the F sub S, the fake bad scale, and the RBS. And so, and malingering refers to the intentional gross exaggeration or otherwise fabrication or manipulation of symptoms for secondary gain in the field of psychiatry, and is actually in accordance with the American Psychiatric Association's published guidelines.
And again, this section of the report, like everything else, this was generated as a result of the test publisher software, is that correct?
Yes, the test publisher software, the statistical scoring, which involves hundreds of thousands of individuals, and then detailed mathematical statistical algorithms that are used to score this test and prepare this report.
You testified earlier that there were other psychological tests that you administered. Are the results of those tests similar with respect to symptom exaggeration or fabrication?
Well, I would say yes and no. The other test, the personality assessment inventory, does not have as sensitive of validity scales to detect exaggeration or other manipulation, though it does show some evidence of that. But when we look at the clinical scales on the personality assessment inventory, Ms. Ellis generated such huge elevations for scales like anxiety, physical symptoms, PTSD, depression, again, several deviations above the norm, that make no reasonable sense unless somebody was actually, for example, so ill that she required inpatient psychiatric care on medications, was critically ill or terminally ill with physical health conditions. The other inconsistency is that on the MMPI-2-RF, she scored, accepting her symptoms at face value, she scored very high on symptoms for paranoid thinking at the level of somebody with a paranoid psychotic disorder like schizophrenia. And that was not seen on the PAI. So that would be an inconsistency between them, but it also would be another example of symptom endorsement that makes no reasonable sense except for intentional gross fabrication or outright fabrication of symptoms in this case. At that level of paranoid thinking, again, would be like a uncontrolled schizophrenia requiring acute inpatient care on medication. But by the same token, taking it at face value, it is, from my standpoint, of relevance to the trier of fact in evaluating somebody with that degree of paranoia and suspiciousness, how that individual reacts to or responds in neutral situations, social situations, potential arguments.
You mentioned a high paranoid thinking score. I believe that's correct.
I'm sorry, so what did you say?
Did you mention a high paranoid thinking score? Is that how you phrased it?
Yes, on the 3 key scales of the MMPI-2 for paranoid thinking, again, typically seen in something like schizophrenia, she had significant elevations on those scales, all 3, again, in the range which the we see here in the text report, how the report interprets it, at the level of somebody who's a paranoid psychotic with delusions, not just somebody who feels a little stressed or like somebody's looking over her shoulder.
And as a professional and a psychiatrist, how would you interpret that score in this case?
So again, I think there are only 2 reasonable ways to interpret it. One would be that it's another common manifestation in how somebody in an emotional injury case produces either gross exaggeration or outright fabrication of symptoms in an attempt to look injured. The alternative is that part of somebody's baseline where in day-to-day interactions she interprets normal or neutral interactions as a personal attack. The only other reasonable alternative, taking it at face value, would be she actually has a psychotic mental disorder like paranoid schizophrenia with things like hallucinations, believing that there's a plot to have her killed, satellites are watching her, her phone is bugged, things of that sort.
And based on the other elements of your examination, did you make a conclusion as to which one of those would be true here?
Well, I think reasonably from a psychiatric standpoint, given all the other information available to me, the reasonable interpretation is that it's another example of severe symptom manipulation, exaggeration, or fabrication. But again, it also has to be considered, again, from a factual standpoint for the trier of fact, does it demonstrate paranoid thinking that can affect how somebody reacts in a situation or a disagreement?
But to be clear, are you diagnosing Ms. Ellis with, for example, schizophrenia?
No, that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Why not?
Objection, ask that answer.
Well, because in schizophrenia, and obviously there's a spectrum, there are individuals who are very well controlled on medication. I know I've had schizophrenic patients, who are like run corporations and do very well, but the vast majority tend to have very severe and chronic courses, often homeless in mental institutions. And so, but with these levels of scores, if you had schizophrenia, you would function at a very low level. You wouldn't be able to maintain reasonable family relationships. You wouldn't be able to hold a job. You wouldn't be able to function in major life activities. And again, you would require psychiatric hospitalization and antipsychotic medication.
Did you diagnose Ms. Ellis with any psychiatric conditions?
No, again, since I equate, for a case like this, emotional injury with have you developed one or more psychiatric disorders as a result of your allegations of the incident with Cardi B, I have no diagnoses for her because she has sustained no emotional injury.
Okay, and apart from the test results, are there any other factors on which you base your conclusion that plaintiff hasn't suffered any mental or emotional injury?
Yes.
What are those?
So the first factor is that, again, I accept Ms. Ellis's report or allegations of what happened that day in that incident, reasonably from a psychiatric standpoint, that would be a stressful or upsetting situation. You might be mad or angry for a day. You might lose some sleep over it. It might be in the back of your mind for a few days. But reasonably, people don't develop psychiatric disorders like an anxiety disorder, depression, from an argument or an unpleasant interaction like that on a single basis. That just makes no reasonable sense. And as we'll discuss, makes even less sense in Ms. Ellis's case because it turns out, although she didn't share them with me when I asked, she's had multiple other traumas in her life, and according to her, those didn't cause emotional problems, so she obviously must have great resilience, and it would make no sense that this much more minor thing somehow would, when most people wouldn't. The other reason is that, well, I have a few reasons, but I promise I'll stop talking soon. Another reason it's important to understand that this doesn't constitute a trauma. Again, accepting Ms. Ellis's report of what happened at face value, it doesn't constitute a trauma. It would be a stressor to some degree on an interpersonal basis, but under the American Psychiatric Association standards for what constitutes a trauma, for example, to be able to develop PTSD, this does not meet that. It has to be something like life-threatening accident, illness, witness to violence. So, for example, physical or sexual abuse growing up, kidnapping, sexual assault, military combat. These things are traumas, and they can lead to PTSD. An argument or an unpleasant interpersonal interaction isn't a trauma and can't lead to PTSD. And that's particularly important for us since some of Ms. Ellis's most dramatic scores on the psych testing have been profound elevations of PTSD scales, again, in a range where no individual who actually had PTSD would reasonably generate those scores.
Are there any other factors?
Yes, so another important factor is, again, in accordance with the published, generally accepted guidelines of the American Psychiatric Association in our diagnostic manual, whenever there is a psychiatrist or psychologist is doing an evaluation in a legal context where financial gain or some other type of secondary gain is at stake, you always have to consider and rule out the risk of intentional manipulation for financial gain. And in that context, in this case, Ms. Ellis has demonstrated a significant pattern of inconsistencies and other symptom validity issues. For example, in my audio recorded examination, again, there's an audio recorded record, she told me, with the exception of a couple sessions of family therapy when she was 12 because her sister had been sexually assaulted by a neighbor, she could not recall a single trauma in her entire life growing up. Couldn't remember a single one in response to my detailed questioning. Whereas, for example, in her deposition, she reported that she was a victim growing up of domestic violence in the home, gang violence, other violence. Schoolmates were shot and killed. She was physically mugged in high school. Her car was broken into several times. None of those were reported to me. So those represent an important mismatch in a legal case where an individual potentially tries to make everything about the incident that can be compensable in a lawsuit. The day of the incident, in this case, February 2018 to present, have been entirely due to what happened with Cardi B and absolutely nothing else. And she couldn't identify any other stressors in recent years that could be relevant. Whereas again, in her deposition testimony, the same year, January 2018, her mother was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. Later in the year, her mother had radiation therapy for cancer.
Objection right to privacy of the mother.
If you want to describe the issues more generically.
My apologies, Your Honor.
Sure.
And the same year, one of her friends committed suicide. And then, again, none of those things were shared with me. So that would be another example. I do have a couple more.
Setting aside that mismatch that you're discussing, are there any other general topics, general factors on which you base your conclusion?
Yes, so another factor that I have to consider as a psychiatrist and medical doctor is there a mismatch across sources of information, considering the records I've reviewed, the psych testing I did, the interview. So another factor, which is very important, is to correlate somebody's subjective, meaning what she reports, emotional injury claims of injury, with real-life day-to-day function as a more objective measure. So in this case, if I accepted Ms. Ellis's reports at face value, particularly with the psych testing, she would have profound, off-the-charts PTSD, profound disabling depression, anxiety, profound disabling physical health conditions. Whereas when I compare that to her real-life function, she's had intact relationships with her, loving relationships with her family, which would not be reasonable in the context, particularly of profound PTSD. That she's, in a few months after the altercation and continuing to the present, she's had a job that not only has been higher paying for her, but has been more demanding, requires top, excellent interpersonal skills, how to deal with people, troubled youths, and emotional resilience, and has, per her deposition, performed it well. Again, total mismatch. She also reported to me that since the incident, she's traveled to Hawaii, Las Vegas, Mexico, though she couldn't remember, supposedly, that if she had gone to other places or how many times. And again, even if you look in the psych testing report that was generated, particularly with severe PTSD, you don't want to leave your house, you don't want to interact with people, you withdraw from your family, the future looks bleak to you, you don't have a job. These things are completely contrary.
Thank you. No further questions.
All right, Cross.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, all. Good afternoon, Dr. Rosenberg.
Good afternoon, sir.
I took your deposition on August 5th, and we went over all of your opinions, correct?
We went over all my opinions, but it's very clear that you didn't ask me for all the factors in support of my opinions.
Okay. But I did take your deposition and took about 2 hours, a little bit less, correct?
Yes, sir, you were extremely polite and professional, which I appreciate.
Thank you, Doctor. So you testified today that you billed $30,000 in this case. Is that often the charges that you bill for the type of case that's litigated and without the time for trial, of course, up until trial? Is that a reasonable amount of billing in a case like this?
I would say in a complex case that spans over years, that's probably true of maybe 25% of my litigation matters that I work on.
Okay. And in addition to the $30,000 that you received, you were also paid $1,800 by my office, correct?
Yes, sir, for my deposition fees.
And for today, you're being paid another $10,000 to prepare and appear here and testify and go back and forth. Is that fair?
I think that's reasonable, yes, sir.
Could it be higher than that amount?
I don't think so. I think that's a reasonable estimate.
So my estimate is about $40,000, correct?
Yes, sir, I think that's very reasonable.
And in the past 29 years, you testified at your deposition, or I can ask you now, isn't it true that in 70 to 80% of cases you testified on behalf of the defense up until recently, correct?
Yes.
And there's a well-known lawyer that we all know, no need to mention names, but recently he's been giving you some more work, so your 70 to 80% has gone down to 60%, correct?
More work on the plaintiff side, that's correct.
And as far as the attorneys, Cardi B had an attorney before Mr. Kossoff and other lawyers. In working with their firm, you worked in 5 other cases with them?
That sounds about right, sir, yes.
And with their new law firm, Davis, Wright, and Tremaine, with Mr. Peterson, Mr. Lamb, and all the other attorneys involved with them, you worked in 15 cases with their office, correct?
Objection. Same facts.
Overall.
Yes, over the past 20 years or so, that's correct, though I've never worked with these particular attorneys before.
And would you agree that in 90% of cases that you were hired in, you basically remain the expert on the case and you don't withdraw, correct? About 90%.
I apologize, I don't recall a case in which I have withdrawn.
So are you saying that every single time the defense hires you in a case, you remain the expert in that case without giving them an opinion before you testify?
Objection.
Is that what you're saying, sir?
Assistant.
So when you were hired by Cardi B's office, by her lawyers, when were you hired?
I believe it was sometime early in 2023.
And when you were hired in 2023, did you ask, well, strike that. Did you examine Imani Ellis in 2023, correct? Or was it 2024? Sorry.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, sir. I believe it was July 21st of 2023.
Did you ever do any type of examination on Cardi B at any point?
Given that that would be inappropriate since she wasn't the plaintiff with a psychiatric claim, I did not, sir.
Right, but she was involved in some type of altercation, correct?
Objection. Incomplete hypothetical.
I don't think it's relevant. It's not relevant whether she has any damages or not.
And what is your understanding as to what is the basis of this claim? What is Imani Ellis's claim? Why is she here in court?
My understanding is that she felt that she was verbally mistreated by Cardi B, including foul or demeaning language, that Cardi B touched her face with a long fingernail and caused some injury to her face, and that also resulted a month later in Ms. Ellis being fired from her security job.
Okay. Do you know, in psychiatry, do you treat patients that deal with assault and battery?
In my patient care practice, putting aside legal matters?
Yes.
Let me just object for being ambiguous as to deal with.
Assistant.
I'll strike that. Have you treated patients for injuries related to assault and battery in your career since 1994 as a psychiatrist?
A few hundred times, from very simple to extremely severe injuries.
When you say simple, what is an example? What are you saying to us?
Yes. So by simple, I don't mean to say it's not important or it's not serious to the person, but I mean, for example, let's say somebody being pushed or a hand on a shoulder in an aggressive way or something like that, all the way up to people who are beaten and kicked on the ground with skull fractures and being hit over the head with clubs and pistol whips, a variety of things, stabbed.
And when you treated the various patients, would you treat them more than once? The ones that you're speaking of?
Typically, and again, it depends on the setting. You know, as a medical doctor, I used to spend a lot of time in emergency rooms, so there it might be once. But over the course of my career, overwhelmingly, particularly 22 years in a nonprofit clinic in Van Nuys, I would treat them on a repeated basis. Some of them I would treat for many years, although those tended to be individuals with major mental disorders like bipolar or schizophrenia.
Okay, and if you could just look at the other binder on your left, please.
Pardon me one sec, sir.
Sure.
Yes, sir. Where should I look?
Yes, if we can look at Exhibit 1-003.
I'm there, sir.
At the time of your deposition, had you reviewed this page?
Objection. Beyond the scope of your right.
As best I recall, sir, I had not reviewed this particular page.
Okay. Do you remember in your deposition, I asked you if you'd reviewed all of Miss Imani Ellis's medical bill? You remember that?
I apologize. I vaguely remember that, and I don't remember what my answer was.
Is he designated for medical bill?
No.
Then I don't know why we're going down this route.
Okay. Thank you, Aaron. If we can go to Exhibit number 2.
I'm at Exhibit number 2, sir.
You reviewed the medical records and bills of Dr. McKinsey, correct?
Yes, I haven't done so recently, but I did earlier in this case.
And we went over this together at the time of your deposition, and you expressed that for purposes of workers' compensation, the treatment was reasonable, but maybe for this case it's not. Do you remember testifying to that, Doctor?
Objection beyond the scope of direct and also beyond the scope of this expert's designation.
Do you have his designations?
It's in the trial. The trial.
What's in the binder?
Yeah. It's tab 8.
The objection's sustained.
Thank you. As far as any type of physical injury, isn't it true that you are not giving any type of expert opinion about physical injury, correct?
Aside from her inconsistent reports of whether or not she was actually touched on the face by the fingernail, that's correct, sir. I'm not a plastic surgeon. Other than that, I'm not giving any testimony with regard to physical injuries.
And when she came to your office, did you examine her face to see if she had a scar?
As I do
So
with,
yes or no? I'm sorry.
well, I observed her across the table for several hours. I didn't specifically examine her face beyond that.
Did you have an intention to look for the scar on her face? Yes or no?
Yes.
Did you physically go up to her face and look to see if there was a scar?
No, sir.
Are you giving any opinions about Miss Imani's physical scar on her face, whether she has one now, she had one from this incident, anything to do with her plastic surgery? Giving any of the opinions about that?
Objection, incomplete hypothetical, also beyond the scope. Also hypothetical.
Okay, and in formulating your opinions, did you review Miss Imani Ellis's medical records?
Yes, sir, and those were extremely important to me, actually.
Okay. And you reviewed the medical records from Nicole McKinsey, is that correct? Is that her? Do you remember that?
I haven't recently, but I have in the past, yes, sir.
You can look at it. Did you review Exhibit 2?
Yes, sometime before my deposition, but I've not looked at them since.
And you reviewed Exhibit 3?
Yes, sometime before my deposition, but not since.
Okay, and you reviewed Exhibit 4? And Exhibit 5?
Let me take a look here. Pardon me one second.
Objection compound.
Overruled.
As best I recall, yes, but not recently.
And in formulating your opinions, did all of these exhibits assist you in your formulating opinions and coming up with your opinions for us today?
The Kaiser records were extremely important because she had several visits and didn't report a single emotional problem, didn't ask for any care related to this
Objection,
case.
non-responsive.
So it's a yes or no question. Did you rely on those records in forming your opinions?
Only the Kaiser records.
I didn't ask you about the Kaiser record.
Oh, I'm sorry, you had asked me about the Kaiser records earlier. You mean just the ones that I'm looking at in the notebook?
I never said the word Kaiser. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I'm sorry, I guess when you said medical records, that's what I was interpreting.
Yeah, I'm talking about the medical records from Dr. McKinsey, the psychologist, the medical records from Dr. Avila, a psychologist, the medical records from Dr. Mulliken, a plastic surgeon, and the medical records from Dr. Norman, a pain management doctor. Did you review these records? You testified a moment ago, yes. And then the question is, did you use these 4 medical records in formulating any of your opinions that you testified to today here in court?
No, sir.
Okay, so when you said there was inconsistencies, didn't you mean that, well, strike that. When you said there's inconsistencies, you found those in the medical records that I just asked you about? Isn't that true?
Maybe I had previously. I don't recall if that's in my deposition testimony, but I did not consider those in formulating my opinions for today. It was the Kaiser records.
Okay, the Kaiser records that you're speaking of, isn't it true that the Kaiser records, any medical treatment that Imani Ellis received at Kaiser, it has nothing to do with this case. It has nothing to do with assault and battery.
Objection.
It's something totally unrelated, correct?
Objection, speculation, hearsay.
Silver problem solved. Sustained.
Why did Imani Ellis go to Kaiser Hospital?
Objection, speculation.
Sustained.
Do you know why, from reading the medical records and bills, do you know why Miss Imani Ellis went to the Kaiser Permanente Hospital?
Objection, six objection.
Overruled. You know the answer?
Yes, Your Honor. The answer is yes.
Okay. Why did she go to Kaiser Permanente Hospital?
Same objection.
Overruled.
Well, April 2022 was for an annual history and physical, a comprehensive. November 2022, comprehensive history and physical. April 2023 with a PA was for a reported hand pain.
Everything that you just told us right now about Kaiser Permanente Hospital, as a medical doctor, and in reviewing all these records that you testified you read, wouldn't you agree that those medical treatments have nothing to do with this incident? Agreed? Yes or no?
Objection, very ambiguous.
Overruled.
I disagree. They're extremely important.
I didn't ask you if they're important. I agree they're important. Going to a hospital is important. My question is, if the medical treatment that was received at Kaiser Permanente Hospital, if it has any relation to medical treatment received by Imani Ellis related to this incident that occurred on February 24th, 2018. Was it?
For my purposes, yes.
Okay. So are you telling us that Miss Imani Ellis went to the hospital in 2022 and 2023 because of injuries related to this incident? Is that what you're testifying to, Doctor?
No.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. What you are telling us is you used some of the medical records from Kaiser Permanente Hospital to formulate some of your opinions in this case. Isn't that true? Maybe
Yes,
I'm wrong.
sir.
Okay, that's true.
Yes, thank you.
And you use that for your different type of studies, your MMPI studies, and all types of different testing that you did, correct?
Objection, very ambiguous.
Over 5, it's okay.
But just so we're clear, the actual treatment didn't have to do with assault and battery or a physical injury. Is that right?
Objection, very ambiguous.
It's been asked and answered several times.
All right, and then I want some clarity on the other 4 documents. The psychological, well, let me ask you this. As a psychiatrist, do you believe that psychological care with no medication is a respected medicine?
As a general principle, yes.
Have you referred your own patients to receive psychological care?
Oh, innumerable times, yes.
And whether it's a PsyD or PhD or some other type of psychologist that's licensed, you agree that patients can receive medical care from those types of professionals and actually benefit from that type of care. Do you agree?
Well, it's not medical care, but I do agree that they can receive very helpful, effective mental health care.
So are you saying mental health care is not medical care?
Objection, this states that's
Over.
In general, unless it's a psychiatrist, mental health care is much broader and refers to non-medical healthcare providers, psychologists, LMFT, social workers.
Do you believe that patients benefit from mental health treatment with no medication?
Over.
For the appropriate indication, yes, sir.
And how does it help if they go to a psychologist and they talk about their problems? From your perspective, you're a psychiatrist. You are the man who would know. So when a patient goes to a psychologist and they talk about their problems, they explain their problems, why does that help the patient? Why?
Objection, very ambiguous.
I don't know that it's relevant. So if you can establish some foundation as to why we're talking about other patients.
Did Amani Ellis receive psychological treatment in this case, based on your review of the medical records and medical bills, from 2 different psychologists? True?
Yes.
And from your review of the medical records, she went to 7 treatments with Nicole McKenzie and other doctors from her office. Is that true?
Objection, beyond the scope of this expert's designation.
Overruled.
That sounds about right, sir, yes.
And she went to Dr. Avila, another psychologist. She went to his office and got treatment from other providers that were under him for a total of 12 treatments, correct?
Objection, beyond the scope of this expert's
Overruled.
That sounds about right, yes, sir.
And those 2 psychologists, setting aside this case, is there any reason why you as a professional would not refer a patient to these 2 psychologists?
Objection.
I withdraw the question. If we were to talk about, do you remember at the time of your deposition, you said to me that you testified under oath that you worked alongside Dr. Mulliken in cases before. True? About 10 times?
Objection, states
Overruled.
Well, when you say alongside, I've been on the same side and on the opposite side in several legal cases, not like next to him in surgery.
I understand. But you worked alongside him, meaning you've worked on the same cases in about 10 different times, correct? That was your testimony.
Yes, I don't know if it's 10 on the same side or 10 in total on both sides, but happy to accept whatever you said.
Right. And you're affiliated with UCLA?
Not anymore. I was a professor for 16 years, but not anymore.
Okay. And Dr. Mulliken is also affiliated with UCLA? Is that how you know him?
I don't know if he's currently affiliated with UCLA or not, sir. He certainly has excellent qualifications.
Right. You said that at your deposition. Your words were, he has very impressive credentials, correct?
Yes.
Do you know Dr. Mulliken to be a clinical associate professor at UCLA?
Objection, speculation, will take beyond this expert's designation.
At your deposition, you stated that you cannot say that the diagnosis was malingering. Do you remember testifying to that?
Yes.
And what does that mean?
You mean, what does malingering mean?
Well, yeah, sure. I'm sorry.
I didn't know if you meant that or what I meant by saying I couldn't diagnose it.
Why don't we start with what does malingering mean?
So malingering is an official diagnosis of the American Psychiatric Association. It's not a disorder, but it's a diagnosis, which refers to a pattern of intentional exaggeration, fabrication, or other manipulation in a legal context for secondary gain. For example, in a criminal case, it could be trying to appear psychotic to avoid criminal punishment. In litigation like this, typically for monetary gain.
And you testified at the deposition that you cannot say that the diagnosis was malingering. Do you remember saying that?
Ms. Ellis, absolutely, I did say that, sir.
Do you remember meeting Miss Ellis? Do you remember the encounter?
Yes.
Do you remember telling Miss Ellis that you were sorry about what she went through? Did you tell her that?
Yes, based upon her description, I told her I was sorry what she had been through, and it was a pleasure to meet her.
And the testing that you did was in 2023, 5 years later?
Yes, sir.
Would it have been beneficial to have done your testing and interview and all the different things shortly after this incident?
I think that would have been beneficial as well, but also doing it again later is also equally beneficial.
Okay. And do you remember I asked you about discovery, if you had reviewed any discovery, and you said you had not? Fair?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you actually asked that the defense provide you with the discovery so you could review it, and that you would then give us additional opinions. You remember testifying to that in your deposition?
Objection, Ms. State's testimony.
I don't recall, but I know I said that if I received additional information of any type, I'd happily review it, consider it, and it could modify my opinions.
Have you received those discovery responses?
No, sir.
Do you remember also testifying at your deposition that it would be beneficial to your opinions to see Imani Ellis a second time? Do you remember testifying to that?
Yes.
And that if you saw her a second time, that it could further modify your opinions in this case, correct?
Objection, Ms. State's testimony.
Potentially, yes, sir.
And between 2018 and 2023, before you saw Imani Ellis, between that 5-year time span, her psychological or psychiatric condition could have changed, correct? She could have got better. She could have recovered, right? True?
I'm sorry, between 18 and 23?
Yes.
That's certainly a possibility.
Okay. And when she saw Dr. McKenzie for 7 visits and other doctors that work in Dr. McKenzie's office, those 7 visits, you said that psychological care helps. Maybe it helped her.
Objection calls for speculation.
Possible, correct?
Sustained.
Do you believe that Miss Imani Ellis benefited from the psychological care she received from Dr. McKenzie?
Objection.
Yes or no?
Calls for speculation.
Sustained.
And she also received, from your review of the medical records, 12 visits from Dr. Avila's office and staff, correct? You testified to that. So would you agree that 7 plus 12 is 19 visits of psychological care? True?
Yes, I feel very confident in that, yes.
Okay, appreciate that. When you refer your patients out for psychological treatment, do you usually give a limit on the course of care, or maybe 5 visits, 10 visits, 12 visits? or you just refer them out to psychological providers?
I'm usually quite precise, but it also depends on the type of psychological care or psychotherapy. Some are time limited on purpose. Others could go on over the course of somebody's lifetime.
All right, Council, why don't we focus on what his opinions are in the case?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Okay. Also, we talked about the distinction in your deposition between factual opinion and psychiatric opinion. And you said that you cannot say what did or did not occur in the incident. You remember testifying to that?
Yes.
So basically what that means, just to break it down, is you don't know how this incident occurred. Is that fair?
Outside of a psychiatric context, that's correct. Factually, it's none of my business to determine what happened.
Okay. And isn't it true that you don't know if Miss Imani Ellis was assaulted and battered by Cardi B? You just don't know, correct?
Factually, that's correct, sir.
And you also don't know if Imani Ellis was cut on her face by Cardi B. You don't know that, correct?
Objection beyond the scope of this evidence.
Assistant.
All right, y'all. They're probably gonna go on for probably a couple more hours or so. They're going on for a minute, kind of dragging it out. So we've been off almost.
Have you ever spoken with Cardi B at all?
I do want to say something. There was a scumbag in the chat earlier.
No, sir.
Lucky
I've
I
never
ain't seen
spoken
him
to her or
over
had
there.
any other type of
He said
communication.
your hair is so nappy. It's supposed to be. We do all kind of things with our hair. My kind of hair you can do everything with, not straight and stringy. Wigs, yeah, if you're an entertainer. Other than that, we're so suppressed by people commenting and putting down Black women all the time that you've scared Black women not to be themselves. I do head wraps. I do head accessories. I wear my hair, my natural hair. Sometimes I'll throw a cap on or whatever because I got a nice New York fitted that I like to wear. So it'd be all kind of different things and weather related. So I wanted to say that. You know, you encourage people to not be themselves and to hide their identity, causing confusion in children that we birth. Y'all need to stop. And best believe you can curse yourself. Watch what you do because my ancestors love me and I love them to death and beyond. So I just wanted to say that. And thanks for coming out. We'll see what happens once the case closes. It would be nice to see you guys back. We could do a recap and see if someone might want to join live and discuss some of the case to do with Cardi B and whatnot. So thanks, y'all. My name is Kiy NY7 on here. And thanks. We're on YouTube. Right. So this case is about an alleged assault by Cardi B on a security officer at her OBGYN while she was pregnant with her first child, her daughter, Culture. So hope to see y'all back. I may be back on tomorrow. I'm not sure with what. Sometimes it depends. It could be political, but it's mostly to do with us. It has to do with the community, Black melanated people in general, but also some universal topics too that have to do with astronomy and our spirituality and sexuality, because sexuality is such an underrated thing, an issue that people have, and it can make or break you. So let's talk about things that other people get uncomfortable about, and we can have fun talking about them and learn from each other. So I like to get the most out of it here. I don't like being on camera, but sometimes I have because I just want to make eye contact with y'all sometimes, or try to at least, and that's about it. It's an open chat room. Everybody can feel free to talk how they want. I just ask you to keep it respectful. I have thick skin, but at the same time, when I see people, and that's the reason for why women are scared to come out the house without their head covered by, they would put a rag on their head, anything on their head, a carpet. Please hide me. I don't want to show you who I am. You are beautiful. Your higher power didn't make a mistake. There was no mistakes made on people. I'm from the original people. How could you make a mistake? You had it right the first time. Hello. But I'm Kiy NY, and peace, y'all. Thanks for the activity too. You guys have been very active in the chat, and it's so appreciated. So I have fun, and yeah, I enjoy it, and I expect to have scumbags sometimes and stuff like that, and that's fine, as long as you know they know their place, because I will help you find your place. Okay. So yeah, have a good day. I have different stuff here. It's universal at times too, so there's something for everybody. But we'll get into it. We'll have some fun. All right. And as Cardi B would do. Peace, y'all. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Oh, if you want to continue watching it live, it's on Law and Crime and also Court TV. It's right on youtube.com. Okay. So they'll probably be on a couple hours or so. I don't know. But thanks a lot, y'all. Peace.